And we are live. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for being here tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the whole wide world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet, all over social media, all over the mainstream media, everywhere. We got to talk about Trump's speech at CPAC, which was a great speech, fantastic one. Not everyone liked it, of course. People are going to hate, but haters going to hate is what they do. But I thoroughly enjoyed the speech. Also, we got to talk about Texas and Mississippi and possibly other states lifting their virus restrictions. It's about time. We're almost at the 1 year anniversary of 15 days of slow to spread and flatten the curve. How did that balloon into kill your whole economy and nearly the world because of this virus with a 99.99% recovery rate? Also, Dr. Seuss canceled. What it be doing? One fish, two fish. I mean, what's the big deal about that? Why is Dr. Seuss all of a sudden now persona non grata among some people's in their mind? Andy Cuomo got some explaining to do. Very interesting how he's talking about, wait for the investigation, wait for all the facts to come out, but he didn't do that when it came to Brett Kavanaugh. And we know that he's being pretty much thrown away by the left and the mainstream media because of the whole nursing home scandal. Oh, we ain't forget about that part, Andy. We're going to talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. I most certainly appreciate you guys. I couldn't do it without you. If you enjoy what you've heard so far on the show, if you enjoy the content in general, please give me a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. And if you want to hear this particular show as audio only, it'll be available on Friday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern time on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether that be Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, etc. A link for that will be in the description box below. If you want one of these beautiful flags that are behind me from BHE Designs, a link for that will be in the description box below. Please use that link so I'm able to get my credit. And also, we're going to go ahead and just jump straight into it. We got a whole lot going on. I'm going to get to Andy Cuomo because in my video, I focus more on the hypocrisy as far as, he's talking about, wait for the investigation, wait for the facts. But he did not do that with Brett Kavanaugh. I focus mostly on that. But there's a bigger story there. I'm going to get to that in a little bit. Let's start with Trump's speech at CPAC. I thought it was a great speech, fantastic. Shout out to all you guys that watched it with me live. I appreciate y'all. That was a really that was an epic stream. Had like over 10,000, almost 11,000 concurrent, meaning watching it once. So that was a really good one. I appreciate y'all for being there. But it was great. An hour and a half long. He was late, but it's fine. That's pretty much how it goes. But he's about an hour late and stayed for about an hour and a half. Really great. He addressed the issue that I've been talking about here for quite a while as far as this whole third party kerfuffle. I think the media put that story out there and wanted us to kind of just jump on it. Like, yeah, third party because, the whole thing is corrupt. And I know that the whole thing is corrupt. That's a fact. But that doesn't mean we start a whole new third party. We got to get to the core of the corruption and fix that. Okay, he's speaking about that as well. But I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. But getting back to the whole third party thing, he was saying, we're not going to do a third party because if we do that, all we're really going to end up doing is just splitting the vote. And nobody from our side will ever win again. And we don't want that to happen. We want to be able to be competitive here. All right, we got to be able to win. If you go third party and everybody goes to Trump's, well, not everybody. If you get a lot of people that go to Trump's new party and a lot of others that stay with the Republican Party just because they don't want to switch, just because they don't know a lot about politics, all you're going to do is split the vote enough to have the other side who are unified win. There's no other Democratic Party or left party. It's all the Democrats. AOC and all of them. AOC and Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi are probably having internal quarrels every single day, right? But they stay together. They stay as one unit because the whole purpose is to have as many votes as possible on their side to defeat the other side. That's what it is. So if we decide to break away and not have all our votes go to one pot, have them go to separate pots, it'd be the Ross Perot effect. So it wouldn't make any sense. So he killed the idea of having a third party. He's saying, hey, we're going to reform the Republican Party. We're going to do it from within. And I did not know he had a PAC already called Save America on his website, donaldjtrump.com. I didn't even know it was there because I was saying he's going to start a PAC. And that's what he did. He started a PAC after the election was over with. So he's had that for quite a while. And the whole point of the PAC is to raise funds for candidates that are going to be America first. And what they're going to do from this PAC and from these little, organizations and cliques is to go into the Republican Party as Republican conservatives and get the party back on track. That's what I was saying from the very beginning. Because a lot of you guys asked me, how about a third party? How about a third party? I was like, no, let's be the Republican Party, but go in there and reform the Republican Party. That is what we got to do. So shout out to Trump for making that be 100% clear. And then, of course, the election, the elephant in the room with that was the fraud and all kind of things that went on at the 0 hour. And shout out to Trump for mentioning that Time Magazine article. They pretty much bragged about it, how they did not rig the election. They, quote unquote, fortified the election. That was their words in a Time Magazine article, not mine. Can anybody say, oh, ABL, you're repeating, what was that, propaganda? No, I'm not. I mean, maybe it is propaganda, but I'm not making it up. I didn't make it up. Time Magazine put it in the article. We fortified the election. All right. Now, getting back to that, they are telling us what they're doing straight away. They're not, trying to deny anything. This is what it is. They fortified it. And in that, quote unquote, fortification, they did a lot of things that would lead to fraud. Changing rules at the 0 hour, the day before the election, changing rules, universal mail-in ballots. You got ballots that are being sent to one address for multiple people. I saw in D.C. that one person at one address had 6 different people's ballots come to their home. Now, if there's no ID and ballots are just being sent out there, what's to prevent the person that got all those ballots from filling them all out and sending them back as a person who was intended to get them? How are you going to stop that? If there's no ID and the ballots are going to one place, how are you going to stop it? So that was a really bad thing. And then they had a bunch of different days to vote. They had like weeks and months to vote. It was a mess. It was a pure mess. A lot of new things that have not been done before, untested systems. It was crazy. So we got to have election integrity to restore confidence in the election, because people are just like, you know what, I'm done voting because all the stuff that went on that shouldn't have went on, laws that have been changed at the last minute, obvious cheating that was happening allegedly. I don't want to do it anymore. So he spoke about that. So that was an important part of the whole situation. And that is why the media don't really want to get anywhere near it. See, it's a double-edged sword for the media. They created the quote-unquote monster of Trump, and they want to call it that, because they will cover Trump for the negative stuff. They're covering for the bad stuff, right? That was their whole cash cow. Trump's this, Trump's that, Trump's this, Trump's that. So they would cover all the things that they say they don't like. But then when it comes to the CPAC speech, all of a sudden they don't want to cover it. But you had been covering them for a while, and a lot of these lefties are pretty much addicted to Trump. So they're going to seek him out anyway. They're going to find out information anyway. And those that support Trump are going to find it out. So you're really not doing yourself any kind of favors. All you're doing is cementing your place as a biased source of information if you totally ignore the speech. I think only Fox carried it as far as the mainstream media outlets. Of course, people on YouTube like myself and many others covered it. I think Newsmax, OAN. But as far as like the big players that have been around for a long time, the establishment media, they didn't cover it at all, because they ain't want to hear the whole thing about the election fraud that was brought up. They don't want to talk about that, and they don't want to talk about the things that Joe Biden is doing that are just bad. Like I commented when I was watching, and also in my follow-up video, Joe Biden did not do a State of the Union address. So Trump did it. Trump did a State of the Union address. Now, people in the comment section in the video I did and the one that I streamed is talking about, hey, ABL, you don't do a State of the Union address in your first year. Yes, technically you don't, but I mean, that won't prevent you from giving an address that's the same thing as the State of the Union address. Trump did an address just like that in 2017 in his first year. It was just called a speech before a joint session of Congress. It's the same thing as a State of the Union address, but because it's in your first year, it's not technically called that, but you can still do an address. The issue with Joe Biden is that he does not know what's going on. Shout out to Nuance, bro. I'm giving them a shout out. I was on Twitter just right now before I got on the stream, and he put up this clip of Joe Biden. I've not seen it yet, but I'm sure he was just rambling and stambling as normal. But he was like, Joe Biden is the equivalent to the Queen. He's not going to actually govern or do anything aside from just get on camera every now and again and say a few words. That's, the funny part, that's how they want the president to be. And when I say they, I mean the establishment. They don't want you to actually govern, you see, because they got a whole system set up for you already. When Joe Biden came in there, he had a whole stack of papers on his desk. Sign this, sign this, sign this, sign this, sign this. All right. The establishment had these things already ready for him to get rocking. They probably wanted Trump to do some of these things, meaning the establishment, but Trump doesn't want to do it. It's just not. Now I'm gonna come up with my own thing. That's why they're trying to say, oh, he's a buffoon. He doesn't know what he's doing because he was not following the script. That's why so many of us supported Trump, because we know that he's not just going to be the queen in there. He's going to be an actual governing person. All right. The presidency, the way it exists today with all the interns and staff and this chief of that staff, this chief of that staff, you can be the queen if you want to. You could be Barack Obama, George W., Slick Willie, or whatever. Just sit up in your ivory tower, perched up, talk every now and again, shake hands, kiss babies, all this and that and the third. You can do that, but Trump wasn't that guy. And we need more guys that are going to actually be in there governing rather than allowing those on the outside of the White House or outside the Oval Office at least to do the governing for him. So that's what Joe Biden is the queen. And a lot of his policies are not doing very well. I saw a story today that was really sad. I think it happened the other day. I'm not exactly sure what day this was, but there was an accident in California, and it involved it was an SUV with 25 people in it. Hold on. Okay, California accident SUV. Now let's go ahead and put this on the screen if I can. All right. All right, USA Today. I don't have all this time in the world. So here it is. Now, put this on the screen right quick. Okay, that's not exactly what I wanted. Hold on, give me 1 second. And there we go. All right, perfect. So here it is. Now, smuggling probe. All right, pop-up ad. Smuggling probe. SUV in California crash. Entered through hole in the border fence. Okay, I'll say that one more time in case you didn't hear me. SUV in California crash. Entered through hole in the border fence. Now, this is what happened. Just to give you the full details so you don't get misinformation from the mainstream media. Now, there is existing border, quote-unquote, fence at the southern border that was there before Trump got in office. So when the left say, oh, we're against walls, tear the walls down, well, there was walls there when Trump came in office. Who built those? Who was in favor of a so-called fence or barrier? People like Hillary Clinton, probably Bill too, Hillary Clinton, Chuck Schumer. But anyway, I digress. There was already a fence right there, but it wasn't really a good one. It was an okay fence, but it wasn't the one that Trump was building that was reinforced and was true security. This is kind of janky. So what happened was they cut the fence. The smugglers, they cut the fence. Literally, they cut a hole in it, and the piece of the fence that they cut was laying on the ground right where it was at. So an SUV with 25 people in it came through the fence. This is human smuggling. Now, the SUV got hit by an 18-wheeler, and it killed 13 people. All right? So when I first saw this story, it was just seen as a traffic accident. But I'm like, 13 people? Was it a pileup? Was a lot of cars involved? No, it was one SUV. This is like a Ford Explorer or something like that. What is this anyway? Like a Ford Explorer. Okay, one is a Chevy Suburban. Okay, it was a Suburban. It carried 19 people and caught fire after entering the U.S. All right. So, no. Okay, wait a minute. One vehicle was a Suburban. So it's two vehicles involved. One of them was a Suburban, carried 19 people and caught fire after entering the U.S. and traveling 30 miles to the intersection of Interstate 8 and State Route 115. So I'm thinking they probably were on like straight dirt desert road to get to the actual road and then to destination. Now, the other one was an expedition with the seats removed. It was carrying 25 people. So imagine 25 people in an SUV. Now, Trump was trying to stop this by having tighter border security and the wall, and not allow you to come in here, get amnesty, all kind of stuff. But since Biden has reintroduced the incentive to come over here, then you're going to have things like this increase. Or you want to stop building the wall. Now they can get through the area, and you got how many people dead? What they said, like 13 died total, and it may be more that die eventually if they're in critical condition or whatever the case may be. And there's a lot of cases like that happen that you don't even know about. People that might drown off the coast, people that might die in the desert, people that get assaulted in the desert, women that get assaulted, they come by themselves. It's crazy. It's a mess. And then how about this? Aside from the people that died in the Explorer packed like sardines, aside from that, you also have those that have the virus coming across the border illegally, and they're being released into the United States. Now, it's so crazy in some parts of the U.S. you still have stay-at-home orders. I think in Virginia, you got stay-at-home orders. So if you're a regular normie, regular citizen, you have restrictions on you as far as a virus. You got restrictions, but if you happen to be an illegal alien coming over here and you have the virus actively, you could just come into the country. Well, shouldn't that be a person that would not be allowed into the country? A virus-positive person? Hey, they don't care because, we can't turn away the people. They're not illegal. They're just undocumented migrants, and they need help. No, they don't need help. They need to get deported. How about that? That's what they need. So yeah, Biden is reopening the so-called cages that the kids got put in because Trump closed it because there was no need. It's no need for all these centers when you're not having as many come to the border. If there's little to no incentive to come, you're going to be deported. You're going to get turned away. You're not going to get allowed in. You're going to have less human trafficking, less dope smuggling, less crime coming across the border, right? But since you have Biden in there, he's talking about, yeah, come on. Matter of fact, I saw a guy from Biden's administration get on TV and said, hey, don't come right now. What? Right now? What you mean right now? What you want me to just smoke with my human beings a little bit later? When should I schedule this? Should I schedule it for like September, October? Like, when should I actually make my illegal trek to the U.S.? How about saying, don't come to the United States illegally? Go about it the right way. Be a legal resident in the U.S. Get a green card. Apply for a visa. Do something. Don't just, smuggle your way into the United States. That's not how it's supposed to go. But since Biden has increased the incentive to come over here, you have more of these border facilities that have been opened, more so-called cages that have been opened. But it's fine because it's Joe Biden in there, and whatever the Democrats do is all right. All right. But I digress. Thank y'all for being here. If you enjoyed what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. But yeah, Trump had a great speech at CPAC. He covered a lot of ground, and it was good. And of course, the main thing from that, one of the key takeaways was he was saying that he might run again in 2024. So we'll see. I mean, Trump's going to be older now. Don't get that twisted. He'll be 78 years old if he was to run again in 2024. But he stopped short of saying that he would run again. It could be him, or it could be someone else. We'll see. Whoever is running, I think will have a great chance against Joe Biden, but we got to tighten them voting systems up. We cannot have this universal mail-in ballots, vote anytime you want to. We can't have that. And you can do that by affecting change in your local area. Your local area are very important. They tightened the voter laws in Georgia the other day because of local people, okay? They're not going to have this universal mail-in. They tighten the laws out there to prevent 2020 from happening again in 2022 or 2024. So vote locally. The national election is a result of the local elections. Start local first. Volunteer, be on the ground, put your hands on the ballots before they get counted. That's where you affect change if you want to see voting integrity come back to the U.S. But I'll move on. So shout out to Texas. God bless Texas, Mississippi, and a few other states possibly for lifting the virus restrictions. It's about time. It's about time. We're almost at the 1 year anniversary of slow to spread, flatten the curve. Remember that? Back in March 2020. Oh, just 15 days. We're gonna just stay home and we're gonna slow the spread, flatten the curve. Now you still got guys in their house not coming out talking about, oh well, I want to wear my mask. Ridiculous stuff. And did you guys see that ridiculous? What was that? The Gonzalez flag, the come and take it, where somebody put a mask in place of the cannon or the rifle. Matter of fact, hold on. I'm gonna put this up right quick just so you can see what I'm talking about. All right. So these people, the blue Anon people, are nuts, completely nuts. All right, here it is. So are you seeing this? So this is the flag where you might see the star with the cannon, and then it says "Come and take it." It has a mask right there because people think that the governor is going to take their mask from them. Look, hey, if your mask means that much to you, if it's your nice, warm safety blankie, if you feel good with it, it's like a pacifier or something like that, your binky, then you can go ahead and keep wearing it. That's fine. You keep wearing your face diaper if you want to. Ain't nobody saying you can't wear it. The whole thing is giving you choice. There's no more mandates for it. And as a matter of fact, if it works so well and it's such a good thing to put on, it doesn't matter if no one else is wearing it as long as you're wearing it, right? It protects you, right? Oh, okay. Well, keep on doing it. Keep on wearing it then. Matter of fact, you can get you a whole hazmat suit. Find you a hazmat suit on the eBays, put that on, and go to your KFC like that. Order your chicken wings and your hot sauce and French fries and Coke with that. Wash that down, get an ice cream, eat that 3 times a day, gain about 1,000 pounds, and still talk about your mask being the main thing to protect your health, right? That's what you could do. Oh, that flag is crazy. But hey, these are the blue Anon people. You know, they say QAnon, all you guys are into conspiracy theories and crazy stuff like that. No, these people are part of a conspiracy theory cult as well. I'll call it Blue Anon. Oh, it's going to take my mask and you're going to give me the virus. No, you do what you want. And for real, let's just be honest. The mask thing is becoming less of a thing. Where I live at in Tennessee is pretty much done. I mean, people still wear masks to a certain extent, but not really. I mean, it's starting to get warm again. It's about to be the springtime. I mean, the mask going to be a thing of the past. All that the mask really did in the winter, honestly, was keep your face warm when it's cold. Wear one of them neck gaiters. Oh, it's nice and comfy. It's like a warm blanket. But hey, man, it's 75 degrees. I can't be out there with this hot thing on my face. It's like wearing a fur coat. I'm not going to be able to do it. So I'm taking that off. And, you know, where I'm at right now, people are not really wearing it. It's not a big thing to do anymore. Restaurants pretty much full capacity. School's back in session. So we're pretty much back to normal life. What's the point in having the mask mandate? Again, if you want to wear it, if you feel good in it, you want to be secure in that, then go for it. And as a matter of fact, I will say this. If you want to wear the mask, great. How about I be able to have HCQ and stuff like that and don't get banned for talking about it, huh? Why not be able to have that as well as you with your mask? If taking the HCQ, which is harmless, been around for 70 years, since before World War II, if taking that makes me feel good, then I should be able to do it the same way your mask makes you feel good. But anyway, shout out to Texas and Mississippi. They're going to be back to 100% capacity. And you got to do it because this whole thing of shutting stuff down and you killing small businesses is not going to last. It's not a thing that's sustainable. You can't do it. All right. And then they're trying to have the minimum wage go up for what? Why? To $15 an hour federally? It's ridiculous. You're going to kill small business. And then on top of that, you got the virus. It's just too much. Then you got this, the Fed is printing up money like it's going out of style. You're going to have crazy inflation. you're going to have the poor become poorer. So at least the least you could do is just, rescind all these mask mandates to get business back flowing the way it's supposed to flow, to give some guys some money and a chance to make it a little bit. That's the least you can do. All right. So yeah, if you want to wear a mask, hey, I'm not the one to speak against you. I'm not hating on you. I'm no hater, but I'm not going to be able to do it. Joe Biden said that if you are talking about rescinding the mask mandate, that's Neanderthal thinking. Matter of fact, if I can find that, I'll put it on the screen, because I saw that he said that, but I didn't hear what he said. So let's put it on the screen and see if we can listen along. Give me a second, and then here we go.
Message to Texas and Mississippi. Texas and Mississippi.
I think it's a big mistake. Look, I hope everybody's realized by now, these masks make a difference. We are on the cusp of being able to fundamentally change the nature of this disease because of the way in which we're able to get vaccines in people's arms. We've been able to move that all the way up to the end of May to have enough for every American, to get every adult American to get a shot. And the last thing we need is the Neanderthal thinking that in the meantime everything's fine, take off your mask, forget it. It still matters. I carry a card and I don't have it, I put it on my desk. As of yesterday, we had lost 511,874 Americans. We're going to lose thousands more. This will not occur. We'll not have everybody vaccinated until sometime in the summer. We have the vaccine to do it. Getting a shot in someone's arm and getting a second shot, you're going to take time. And it's critical that they follow the science. Wash your hands, hot water, do it frequently, wear a mask, and stay socially distanced. And I know you all know that. I wish the heck some of our elected officials knew it. So thank you very much.
I mean, just whatever. It's just nonsense. Nonsense. Like I said, he's a queen. He just sits there, talks a little bit, and that's pretty much all. All right. Now, here's a question I have for you guys. Mouth muffler, exactly. Yes, he did, and Neanderthals. We are Neanderthals. So we went past the whole basket of deplorables to Neanderthals, your knuckle dragging, your apes. Now, I could say, hey, you're a racist talking about we're primates or, a prior species. Am I not a human being because I don't want to wear the mask? But whatever. He did say Neanderthals. Don't go back to Neanderthal thinking. But here's a question I got for you, Joe, creepy Uncle Joe. California has mask mandates, right? Florida does not. Is California faring better than Florida when it comes to the virus? Yes or no question. If California is faring better than Florida, then it makes sense. They're comparable states because Florida's a pretty big state. California's a pretty big state. So why is California not doing better than Florida? Florida's doing better because they're having an economy. They got a population boom. They're not dealing with this big problem with the virus. Florida's doing better than California right now. Florida has no mask mandates. California does. That's not saying that you don't have to wear a mask if you don't. You could wear a mask if you want to. All right. If you want to wear it, then go for it. It's not a mask ban. It's a rescinding of the mask mandate, saying that you don't have to if you don't want to. But like I said, you could look at it right here in the States. You don't got to go overseas to figure it out. Look at Florida. Look at California. Florida is doing better than California, better than New York, better than all these places with no mask mandate. How's that happening? Tell me. That's what I want to know. So, no, it's not Neanderthal thinking. It's a matter of just we're done. It's been a year. How long are we going to do this? I think Fauci said something like 2 years. It's like, man, if you don't stop. Fauci was a guy that said right around this same time last year, like right around March 2020, he said, hey, there's no need to wear a mask because you might block a droplet or two, but you're not really going to give yourself this perfect protection that you're going to have. It'd be okay protection, but it won't be perfect protection. He said that back in March 2020, but now all of a sudden, oh, you got to wear 2 masks, wear 3 masks, plastic bag, whatever you can do to protect yourself, you got to do it. It's so dumb. It's silly. But you know what? I say this. One thing he did say that was right was something that's basic knowledge. Wash your hands, wash your hind parts. Yeah, you don't say. I thought everybody did that. I thought everybody took showers and used soap. That's basic. All right. But the mask and the mouth muzzle, I'm just not really a fan of, but I digress. So shout out to Joe Biden for calling us Neanderthals. That's a great way to reach out to your to your audience, to your base. People talking about, you got to have better messaging on the right. You got to have better messaging. You got to talk to people better, and the GOP must be a better and more inclusive party. It's Joe Biden will get on TV and say, hey, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black, and people go out there and vote for him. Say, hey, you're a bunch of Neanderthals. If you don't wear a mask, people go out there and vote for him. Nothing to do with messaging. It's all about just the mainstream media having the dominance over information. If you got all the mainstream media, social media, academia, government to a certain extent, corporate America, they're all in the bag for the Democratic Party. We're fighting an uphill battle. Now, the battle can be won because we defeated them in 2016 with the same things against us. So we can defeat this beast, but it's not going to be as easy as what some may claim it is, right? Now, hold on. All right, so here's a clip right here from Creepy Joe that I wanted to play. Oh, I'm gonna get to Cuomo in a minute. I almost forgot about Cuomo, but I'm gonna get to him. Here's another one for Creepy Joe that I want to play. Now, the tweet says Biden's team cuts off the feed when he asks if he's supposed to be taking questions. So let's check it out and see what he says. Let me turn this sound on.
Thank you. And I'm happy to take questions if that's what I'm supposed to do, Nance, whatever you want me to do.
I mean, he doesn't know what's going on. It's like, yo, whatever I got to do, just let me do it. I run that back because you didn't catch it. So here's the thing. Again, the tweet says Biden's team cuts off the feed when he asks if he's supposed to be taking questions. So I guess it's towards the end of a talk he's having. This is apparently whitehouse.gov. It's him in one screen, a signed person on the other side. And check it out.
Thank you. And I'm happy to take questions if that's what I'm supposed to do, Nance, whatever you want me to do.
This is terrible. Why they got the old man out there like that? He sounds dehydrated, tired. It's probably about 5 o'clock p.m. when he recorded this. But like I said, he's in bed by 7 o'clock. So why they got him up like close to bedtime? Like right now, he's supposed to be getting in the shower, getting ready to go to bed. Matter of fact, not in the shower, getting in the bath, getting a sponge bath, get ready to go to bed. That's what is going on. All right. So yeah, really weird. Now let's get to Cuomo, creepy Cuomo, hypocrite Cuomo, liar Cuomo. Now Andrew Cuomo, I did a video about him today. He came out and spoke about his allegations against him because you guys know that he has allegations, sexual harassment from I think 3 former aides or employees or just women in general. I think they're all employees of his. The first person came out and said that Cuomo would harass her for years. He would go, quote unquote, out of his way to touch the back of her lower back and her legs. And one day he allegedly asked her if she wanted to play strip poker. Now, like I said in the video, these are allegations. Are they true? Are they false? I have no idea. None whatsoever. I can't convict this man or exonerate him because I don't have the information. These are just allegations. All right. But anyway, that was the first person. Then another one came out. Another one came out. Now you have 3 women that are giving accusations against Andrew Cuomo, governor of New York. So he had been silent for like 12 days, no press conferences. And remember, during the virus, he was on TV pretty much every day, giving the press conference, giving an update on the virus. But he had been radio silent for the past almost 2 weeks. So he comes out today like ain't nothing going on, right? Giving the virus update. And then he got to the other part of the talk where he's saying, oh, I'm sorry if anybody felt like I did something wrong, but I didn't do nothing wrong. That's like, okay. So he's not admitting to any kind of guilt. He's not saying he did anything wrong. He's just like, I'm sorry if I made you feel a certain way. giving crocodile tears. It's like, sir, I don't want to see your face contort. I don't want to see your voice get creaky like you're trying to cry. I don't want to see no cry on TV, Mr. Cuomo. I don't want to see that. I don't care about that. So he halfway kind of addressed it for like 3 minutes, and then that was pretty much the end. Now, did he do it? Like I said, I have no idea. I don't know what he did or didn't do. I don't have the information. But there are allegations against him. What he said in his speech was, hey, let's not jump to conclusions. Let's wait till the investigation happens. Let's wait till Letitia Wright does the investigation and gives real, hardcore, solid information. And then at that point, we can make a judgment on whether I'm guilty, innocent, or whatever. That's what he said, Andrew Cuomo. Now, there's a few things wrong with that. First of all, this is a big distraction because of the whole nursing home thing. I think he's being thrown under the bus because of the nursing homes. Democrats typically won't say anything about a guy that's in a situation like this, for the most part. Without Franken, you had a picture, so you couldn't really avoid that. There's a picture here too, but it's not really that bad. The picture is of Cuomo like cupping a lady's face like this, and then she's like deer in the headlight type look. But it wasn't the equivalent of Al Franken like trying to touch on some in a bad area. You know what I'm saying? You got little babies watching, but anyway, so it wasn't quite as bad as Al Franken's picture. So Democrats are kind of like just trying to be cool or whatever, but they are not really just letting him off the hook. He's being thrown away because of the whole nursing home scandal. That's the actual problem. Thousands upon thousands of seniors died in nursing homes in New York that probably shouldn't have died under Andrew Cuomo's watch. His directive was to send virus-positive patients into the nursing homes. Why would you do that? We knew from the very beginning, or at least towards the beginning, that if you're elderly, you're going to be the most at risk of catching the virus and dying. So he put virus-positive patients in nursing homes. He can't say he didn't have the capacity because Trump sent out the ship, the hospital ship, had 1,000 beds on it, but only about 20 of the beds were ever used. So what are you really doing? And the biggest thing about this whole thing, the biggest problem here was he tried to cover it up. That's going to get him right there as a cover up, allegedly. If I can find that right quick, I'll put it on the screen. Let me see. Hold on. There we go. So here we go. Let's put this on the screen right quick. And let's go desktop cap. So get that on the screen. Let's get it better on the screen. Give me 1 second. So Cuomo aide tells New York Democrats administration hid nursing home data to keep it from DOJ, from Trump's DOJ, because they didn't want to get the FBI in their business and launch an investigation. That's what they did. That is what they did, allegedly, according to the aide of Andrew Cuomo. So that right there is a bigger story. You're talking about thousands of men and women that died, seniors, nursing homes, that probably would be alive if not for Cuomo's incompetence. And they tried to hide it. I mean, it was a report that came out. It was a story that came out where Letitia James said that the nursing home deaths were underreported by 50%. So they only reported half of the nursing home deaths. Why? 50%? That's a pretty big margin of error right there. I could see if it was 1%, 2%, but 50%, you're trying to hide information. So there's currently an investigation into that, into the nursing home stuff and into Cuomo's allegations of sexual harassment. He's being thrown away for the harassment, and that's the biggest story because Democrats don't want to face the music with this right here, because that's going to be a can of worms, not only for Cuomo, not only for New York, but also other states that have done similar things, allegedly. So that's why they want to focus on the whole sexual harassment thing and put him in the garbage for that. But let's get back to Andrew Cuomo and what he was talking about during the situation, right? Let's get back to it. So Cuomo says, hey, let's wait for the investigation to play out until we make a decision about me and the sexual harassment. But He did not do that with Brett Kavanaugh. He sure didn't. Brett Kavanaugh was accused by Christine Blasey Ford, and Andrew Cuomo pretty much believed her. Put out a whole statement and everything. Matter of fact, and he also said that Kavanaugh he should go on a lie detector test. He should get on Maury or something like that and go on a polygraph. All right. So what's going on with that? You want to talk about, wait for the facts to come out. Don't judge me yet. We're still under investigation. But Brett Kavanaugh was under investigation, and you want to judge him. Talking about get on a polygraph, take that. We don't really believe you, all this, that, and the third. And that wasn't even the end of it. He went further. Like, he was really on Brett Kavanaugh's neck. Meanwhile, you got a whole 3-piece of sexual harassments right in your back pocket waiting to get played like spades, right? But anyway, so here's something from New York Eyewitness News, ABC 7, local news in New York. This ain't a so-called right-wing website. This is just reality news on the ground, right? And this is from October 7, 2018. So about 2.5 years ago. Governor Andrew Cuomo, quote, "It's a sad day for this country following Kavanaugh confirmation," right? Now, he put out it's right there. It's a whole statement. And before I get to the statement, Kristen Gillibrand said something. Cory Booker said something. De Blasio, all were talking about how bad Brett Kavanaugh is for the allegations of sexual assault from Christine Blasey Ford and others, right? Now, here's a statement from Cuomo. "The confirmation of Judge Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court is a sad day for this country, and it will haunt us for as long as he is on the court." Oh, okay. Today, 50 senators put partisan politics over the sanctity of the highest court in the nation. In November, the American people get to respond and make their voices heard. So basically, because there were allegations against Brett Kavanaugh as far as sexual assault or harassment, and he was confirmed to the Supreme Court, he's saying you should vote people out that confirm him to get in. So it's not even just a matter of saying that he's bad, but those that confirm him are also bad. Guilty by proxy. But anyway, in New York, we will never waver and will not back down. To Dr. Christine Blasey Ford and all survivors of sexual assault, we believe you and we will fight for you. The sham FBI investigation and the bigger sham, this confirmation process, have energized us to fight even harder for our shared vision for a better future for all. So it's okay for Andrew Cuomo to say that, these things are a sham, the FBI is not really doing their job. But when Trump says anything like that, you're inciting an insurrection, all this, that, and the third, he can also just dismiss the investigation that the FBI did into the whole situation as not even important, while saying that you need to wait until his investigation gets concluded before you make up your mind. So you want to believe the results from your investigation, but not from Brett Kavanaugh's investigation. Got it. But it continues, "We will not wait for our rights to be taken away. Here in New York, I vow to codify Roe v. Wade within the first 30 days of my next administration, strengthen our common sense gun safety laws, and continue our progress on expanding access to quality, affordable health care. While extreme conservatives in Washington try to take this nation backward, New York will lead the way forward." So you did all of that talking about Christine Blasey Ford and Brett Kavanaugh, but now you're in the same situation, the shoes on the other foot, the rabbit got the gun, and you want to do a total 180. See, it's all games, dog and pony show, but it is what it is. He's being thrown away. I think he will get removed from office, but the question is, are you going to get a better guy in there? They're talking about Andrew Yang could be in the running in New York for something, maybe for mayor of New York City or the governor of New York. Don't let that happen. Andrew Yang ain't nothing but Andrew Cuomo, but a Chinese asset, basically a communist asset. Cuomo's bad, but Andrew Yang might not be much better. He might be the exact same or worse. So we'll see how that whole thing goes. But yeah, shout out to Andrew Cuomo for being a hypocrite and a liar. Shout out to you, sir. You can't say on one hand, you can't use the cancel culture sword against Brett Kavanaugh and leave it on the ground and get mad when it's picked up and used against you. You can't get mad about that. You forged the sword of cancel culture. Now it's being used on you. How does it feel? But anyway, I digress. Yeah. Rabbit got the gun. It ain't no fun. Alrighty. But what else we got going on? Oh yeah. Dr. Seuss being canceled. My. So Dr. Seuss, Cat in the Hat, One Fish, Two Fish, Blue Fish. Now Dr. Seuss being canceled because why? They're trying to put different things in the mix to make Dr. Seuss like he's a bad person. Dr. Seuss actually was a big time liberal, anti-racist. He was on their side, but this is what the left does. They eat each other. So you're talking about being we got T already. You're talking about being anti-racist. You're talking about all these things, but at the same time, thank you for the tea. But at the same time, you want to destroy this man who's also on your side. That's how they do. It's crazy, but it is what it is. All right. So Dr. Seuss had some drawings back in the day that were considered to be racist. And they're using that and they're saying, see, he's a racist. He has offensive drawings. He drew an Asian person with one of those straw hats and a bowl with some noodles in it and some chopsticks. So therefore, he's racist, right? Therefore, he's racist. But he was not a racist. He was anything but a racist. He was really an anti-racist person. And the books are classic. I mean, you can use those. Those are timeless books. Great stories, easy reading for little kids to learn how to read. You know, a lot of people need to read Dr. Seuss, or they should have read him when they were a child. They would know how there, and there are different. Okay, there's a lot of little things you can learn how to do, a lot of rhyming stuff you can learn how to do in these books that will teach you how to read, reading comprehension, being able to have a love and a passion for reading. See, I have glasses on, not because I'm just, trying to be fancy, trying to be GQ or nothing like that. These are not fashionable glasses. I need them to be able to see. Been wearing them 30 years of my life, pretty much my whole life wearing glasses because I was always a reader. Facing the book, I was a bookworm. And where I got started, Dr. Seuss books is always good. Shel Silverstein, a lot of books like that. Children's books are very important. So now everyone comes to Dr. Seuss. And it's crazy because Dr. Seuss is never a problem in previous administrations. Michelle Obama had Dr. Seuss in the White House for the National Reading Day. Matter of fact, let me see if I can put it on the screen right quick. Oh, okay. Here's a story right here. Perfect. Shout out to New York Post coming through in the clutch with the story. So Barack and Michelle Obama praised and quoted Dr. Seuss during the presidency. Okay. So there they are right there. So there you go. You got Big Mike, Michelle, Barack, what was that? Malia, Sasha, chilling. Books in the hand, reading them. Everybody got smiles on their face. They clapping. It's having a good time, right? Nobody ever thought back then, we got to cancel this man because he's a racist. Okay, you got the black family, the first black president, first black lady, all this and that, and the third. They reading the books, it ain't no problem. My granny was a school teacher. She had the books in the house. So I would go over there when I was a kid. When I was safe for the summer, when I was a little boy, not read the books. Shel Silverstein, Dr. Seuss, all these guys, I read the books. It's fun. Okay, I learned how to read well that way and write well that way. That was my introduction into reading and writing. Aside from Sesame Street and stuff like that, which has kind of been wokeified, Dr. Seuss books, very important. There was no problem under the Obama administration, but now all of a sudden Joe Biden is removing mentions of this man on Read Across America Day. So how does that really work? Talking about it's racial undertones. Ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. But you know what? Joe Biden, like I said, he's pretty much the queen. He has no control over what's going on. If they come to him and say, you know what? All right, look, man, we're not going to have Dr. Seuss up there because it's bad right now and he's racist and we're just going to cancel it. We're going to do something else. We're like, okay, cool. Whatever you say, boss, I'll do it. That's pretty much what's going on. He's not a governing person. Look at this man. He's halfway. He got 1 foot in the ground. Keep it all the way 1,000. All right. 1 foot is pretty much firmly in the plot as we speak. Now, I'm not wishing it on the man. I'm just telling you what I see. If I'm in the movie Beetlejuice and I'm seeing a guy with some drywall fall from his face and hit the ground, I'm thinking, okay, he might be pretty much about to be expired, or he's already expired right now. that's what I see right now with this man and Joe Biden. He's pretty much expired or expiring, unfortunately for him. All right. But yeah, so they cancel everything. And at a certain point, they're going to do something that, I'll put it to you like this. With Goya, they're trying to cancel Goya because of the whole CPAC stage. I'm bringing it up too right quick because I found some new information about the CPAC stage. But they're trying to cancel Goya because he was at CPAC and talking about Trump won. He got the most votes, all this and that. So they're trying to cancel Goya again. But the last time they tried to cancel Goya, they had a record-breaking sales streak. It was crazy. They couldn't keep up with the demand. The demand was so high, they were overwhelmed with the demand. So you keep trying to cancel these people, it's going to have the opposite effect. Anytime you see cancel culture come about, you got to hop on it, okay? They try to cancel my pillow. I got a bunch of pillows today. Shout out to the Highest Twins for the code. They try to cancel Dr. Seuss. I'm buying them books myself. I know how to read, obviously, and I'm not 2 years old, but I'm going to still get them. You know, I'm going to have kids in the future. They're going to get these books for sure. I don't want kids to have the LGBTQ, ABCDEFG books. Oh, they ain't going to cancel those books. So let me get this straight. You're going to cancel these nice, wholesome books, children's reading, that's like tools to learn how to read, and replace them with what? With pro LGBT, trans, whatever kind of multi-generational gender, non-binary, space being, zir. You're going to have that in place of Dr. Seuss and other wholesome children's books. That might be the objective, to clear out all the regular normal books and put in their place the ridiculous abstract Afro-punk blackity black books. I don't want that. Give me the regular books. So yeah, I'm going to get those and put them in my library. This is a virtual book burning. Really, that's what it is. And there was some people that did something like that back in the day in Germany. You guys know who they are, so I don't got to say it. But anyway, so getting back to the whole CPAC stage. Remember the whole thing about, the CPAC stage, it's a Nazi rune. It's the Odal rune. Matter of fact, hold on. I'm going to give you a quick reminder so you know what I'm talking about. All right. Now, this is on TMZ. This is from February 28th, which was on Sunday when the CPAC happened. They were saying that the CPAC stage is like a Nazi rune. So you see it right there. The headline says, CPAC stage design looks like a Nazi symbol used by World War II SS platoon. And you see it right there. And then they were trying to say that stage, as you see on the screen, with the, the squares and the other little lines, it's like this. It's an Odal rune. Okay. Now you could say that the stage, it could be a few different things. If you want to compare it to a thing that already exists, it could be the Space Invaders little character. It could be pretty much whatever. But they wanted to go all the way to a Nazi symbol that I've never seen before in my life. Now, here is the update. CPAC's quote-unquote Nazi rune stage design was done by a liberal company which has worked for Biden and MSNBC. All right? So, despite Democrats and the mainstream media insisting that the Conservative Political Action Conference, CPAC, designed its stage to resemble Nazi insignia, the company responsible for its creation revealed it, quote, had no idea that the design resembled any symbol, unquote, and has worked for Joe Biden and MS-13 in the past. So let's just pause right there. If we're going to put CPAC just under the bus, why not put Joe Biden under the bus? Because the company that did it worked with him before. Why not MSNBC? Oh, it only goes one way. But see, the story was out there for enough time without being properly rebutted to be true in the minds of some people, which is why some people still believe in the whole hands up, don't shoot thing. We know that it's not true, but it was out there for enough time for those regular normies to just believe it. They're not going to do any kind of follow-ups to see what's going on with the updates. But I knew from the start that it was a lie, this whole Odal rune. It's ridiculous. Like I said, if you see the quote-unquote Nazis everywhere, please seek air, get out of your basement, and seek some help once you leave. Okay, so step one, leave the basement. Step two, seek help. Go to a therapist, psychologist, psychiatrist, somebody to make you, tighten up. All right. This is just a stage. That's it. It ain't nothing else. It's not a Nazi symbol. Okay. If you got Nazi vision, talk to somebody and work through it, because that's not normal at all. All right. So yeah, shout out to the Democrats, the liberals that put the stage together. I know they don't like being called Nazis, but hey, that's the cancel culture. And it'd be funny if they still get canceled over this. But that's the cancel culture sword. When she went and engaged in it, when you forge that sword, it can be used on you. That's how it goes. That's how it is. So I think at a certain point, once a cancel culture monster becomes so big and so out of control and so omnipotent, it'll start to kind of wind down, because there won't be anybody left to cancel. It's like the whole thing with the young lady, Amanda Gorman, the inauguration slam poet. She has a book. I forget what it's called, but you guys know in the comments. She has a book of her poetry, right? And she wanted it translated into Dutch. Well, from a publisher, they wanted to translate it into Dutch. So she handpicked. So to back up a little bit, Amanda Gorman is black, and her poetry is like real woke, blackity black, back to Africa, that kind of thing, right? Wakanda forever, all that good stuff. Her poetry is like that. She handpicked a Dutch person to translate her book into Dutch for people in the Netherlands, right? In that part of Europe. The person happened to be white, because if you're in Europe and you want a Dutch person, they're probably going to be white. Generally, that's how that goes, right? So everything was fine until a more woke, a more pro-black, blackity black, back to Africa person intervened from Netherlands and said, hey, you know what? We got to get a strong, independent, I'm kind of going on. We need a strong, woke, black, unapologetic person to translate this into Dutch. It's like, what? Really? There's a 3% black population in the Netherlands. And a lot of them are they're not even on this whole woke American train. They're more like Dutch people. They're more Dutch culturally than American. But I feel like that was a way for her to try to get her own self in there, because she's super woke, she's super black and Dutch. She probably wanted that job for herself, or one of her friends over there in Netherlands. But that's the woke culture. They got to attack somebody. You got to eat somebody, because if you can't eat this person over here that's conservative to, fuel yourself, you got to eat your own friends, your own compadres, until anybody left. But I digress. All right. Oh, looking ahead. Hey, that's a great one. I'm going to get into that right quick. And then we get to super chats. Then we get to the calls. Thank you for that. Now, I'm going to play this video right quick. It's only about a minute long. So y'all give me a second. Let me put this on the screen. Let's turn the audio on. It's on my Instagram page, by the way, Instagram.com/Anthony B. Logan. Check it out. All right.
Liberals have been hell-bent to take any person of color off of all branding in every store in the United States, saying that it's racist that their faces are being used to sell a product, and that makes it racist, or that it was from the past, that makes it racist. Yet they've left every white face alone. They haven't gone after one product that has a white face on it and called it racist as well. So now we have stores with no people of color represented on any branding, but all the white people are still there. Liberals are no different than they've ever been. Their tactics may have been different, but they don't want people of color anywhere they go, even on the packaging of the products they buy.
Run it back.
Over the last year, liberals have been hell-bent to take any person of color off of all branding in every store in the United States, saying that it's racist that their faces are being used to sell a product, and that makes it racist, or that it was from the past, that makes it racist. Yet they've left every white face alone. They haven't gone after one product that has a white face on it and called it racist as well. So now we have stores with no people of color represented on any branding, but all the white people are still there. Liberals are no different than they've ever been. Their tactics may have been different, but they don't want people of color anywhere they go, even on the packaging of the products they buy.
I mean, is he wrong? Is he wrong or what? I mean, that was pretty much on point to me. I don't see the lie. I fail to see the lie there. He's right on point. They don't want to really be dealing with black folks that much. They really don't. They say they do. Oh, we're so woke, blackity. But then they live in places like Freehold or Washington where ain't nobody black at. You see what I'm saying? They don't touch their people that could be considered racist because if Aunt Jemima is a racist caricature and it's offensive, all this, that, and the third, how about Colonel Sanders? Ain't that the plantation owner? How about the Quaker man? Ain't he a racist because he came over in the early 1600s or whatever? He might have had slaves. Probably didn't, but it doesn't matter. He came over a long time ago, might have had slaves. Oh, she got a bonnet on. The bonnet, that's black culture, even though it's not. You could point to something racist about people that are still on the products that have white characters on it, but they don't. Why? What's really going on? I mean, I'm trying to figure it out. But hey, it is what it is. Somebody said, oh, Aunt Jemima is different. How? Aunt Jemima, the original depiction of her was racist. Then they changed it. They fixed it. She looks great. Like somebody's grandma or auntie or whatever. Looks totally fine. Pearl earrings, lipstick, the whole nine. Got a nice little wig. She looks great. Colonel Sanders, plantation owner, redneck or, Kentucky, 1700s or whatever. That's fine. Oh, okay, cool. There's no hubbub about that. There's no problem with that. And they sell fried chicken, which black folks love. Everybody loves it. But the stereotype is black folks love fried chicken and you got a whole plantation owner selling it. But that's no problem. Leave him alone. Take the black person off, but not the white person that could be considered racist as well. It's all a game. It's all phony. That's why I say, hey, don't take them off. Leave everybody on. Statues the same way. Don't take anything down. Leave everything up. All right. So we'll get to it. Oh, yeah. Miss Butterwords as well because they thought she might have been black. I thought she was a white lady. I didn't know she was black, but I digress. Super chat's on deck, and then we're going to get to the call. So y'all hang tight. Thank you for being here yet again. Definitely appreciate you guys. Let's go to super chats. Shout out to Apu, of course, who says, great live stream, Saturday, February 27th. Thank you. I appreciate you. Apu also says, Biden mistakenly called Rep. Sheila Jackson Shirley. He's not well. He thought about Sheila Jackson Lee, but that's not who. He thought about Shirley Chisholm. Pardon me. He thought about Shirley Chisholm, not her actual name was Sheila Jackson Lee. Shirley Chisholm was like old school. She was like I think the first black woman in Congress, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. To the fact that black females were elected mayors of Chicago, Washington, Atlanta proves there's no systemic racism in the USA. Yeah, I mean. Systemic racism, that's a really vague term to use. It's really vague and broad. What does that actually mean? How can you define it? How can you quantify systemic racism? Shout out to Real Honest Abe who says San Francisco to shift $120 million from law enforcement budget to reparations to the black community. What does it even mean? $120 million, they spend more on that than they spend more on dope fiends and heroin needles than they do that. So how is that going to help at all? The dope fiends still out there dope fiending. So how is it going to help black folks? 120 million? I mean, all right, look at it like this. Let's do a little bit of math. What's the black population in San Francisco? Okay, San Francisco is like what? Hold on. Let's figure it out. San Francisco black population. What are the numbers here? So 48,000. So right around 48,000. So what's that? 120 mil? Divided by 48, if everybody gets money, 120 milli divided by 48,000. So $2,500. That's like a stimmy check. What you gonna do with that? What you gonna do? Get an outfit, get a car down payment. What you gonna get with that? Reparations. That's so silly. Like I said, you spend more on crackheads, dope fiends, and stuff like that in San Fran. So what's the purpose? And the truth is that the money would be better spent with the police. That'll do more to help black folks than just giving a stimmy check of like $2,000. It's so dumb. All right. Shout out to Charles Ryans who says, oh, we can't remember the ABL team. Thank you for that. Thank it to Apple who says, also ABL, about Saturday live stream, I'm proud of you because you have great influence on young fans and you are a very compassionate listener. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you to Pinche who says, I think the House of Reps are working to pass a bill that will overhaul the voting rules in the name of quote unquote protecting democracy. Seems like a joke to me. It is. It really does. All right. Shout out to Apple, who says ABL. I have a prediction that Fat Albert will get canceled. Body shaming, Dumb Donald's name, and KK hat association with Bill Cosby. Thoughts? Yeah, probably so. And then the kind of dopey talking that might get canceled as well. You're ableist. Everything could be. They're gonna try to cancel every single thing. Shout out to Math Reactions, who says, my aunt who lives in another state was sent a mail-in ballot. Makes sense. I had to pay for YouTube because I was tired of BLM virus and buying ads. Oh, yeah. Hey, join the club. I've been got YouTube red because I don't want to see no ads. I don't want to see none of that. I don't want to see any of it. So, yeah, join the club, boss. Thank you for your donation. Thank you to Red Sings the Blues, who says, donation, big fan of yours since 2016. Thank you for being an OG listener. I appreciate you, boss. Shout out to Jacob Miller, Mr. Blue 2, who says, please stay wholesome and real as you ascend to stardom and fame. Hey, I can't do nothing else but be me. Thank you for that. Apple says, thoughts on Tariq Nasheed? Is he becoming conservative? No. Tariq Nasheed is just, how can I say, he is more, he's a woke person that's not as bad as some of the fake woke people. He's the kind of guy that's woke and all this back to Africa, blackity black stuff, but it's not as ridiculous as people that are on Capitol Hill. Put it to you like that. It's like a regular person that's kind of woke, but not conservative at all, in my humble opinion. He may have a occasional thing he agrees with us on because he's just being honest, but he's not one of us, really. Apple says, AB, I love your Jamaican and Nigerian accent. More, please. I may give you more, but I cannot do it right now. I'm doing my super chats right now. I cannot do it. I can't do it. Thank you to Pinche, who says, states opening up. I'm thinking the Democrats are cooking up a plan to force states to roll back. Letting illegals come in with a virus or turning up the mutation narrative. They will do something. Of course, it's always something. It's always something. They're going to try to change the way that the tests are coming back positive. They're always going to do that. And you notice, right after the inauguration, the numbers went all the way down as far as new positive cases in the U.S. because they changed how the positive test was recorded. So all they got to do is change it again and make more of the false positives come back in the test, and you're going to see a big uptick. I wouldn't put it past them. That's how they do. Thank you to Mitch, who says, oh, ABO support, thank you for that. Shout out to Pete Sangrio, who says, make sure to wear your mask while buying your next pack of Newports. Hilarious. Laura says, I am part Japanese. I'm not offended by the old cartoons with Asian characters in them. It was a different time and not mean-spirited. Exactly. Thank you, Elizabeth C, for your donation. Keep it up emoji. Thank you to Wolfgang, who says, if the mainstream media are silent against Cuomo, I am for Cuomo. Let them feel the heat, though. We have not forgotten the nursing home scandal if the media no-shows. There you go. Apple says, Perker, you had a video in which they interview white teachers at a white privilege conference who said whites are racist. Perker, you interviewed black folks from Harlem who said white privilege doesn't affect them. Yeah, I saw that. And it's amazing how people don't really talk to each other and they think a thing about each other that's not true. And that video pretty much highlighted that. Charles Turner Jr. says, on the right, we are too often on defense, yet President Trump helped show many of us we can go on offense too. Sleepy Creepy Joe, Black Me China, is definitely forgetting his so-called call for unity. Oh, yeah. You can't say that you're going to be for unity, but at the same time call folks Neanderthals. That's not very unifying of you, sir. That's not unifying at all. Laura says, whatever you want me to do. Biden also says it to China. Exactly. Exactly. Amy says, Mississippi governor, is it Michigan, Mississippi? Governor Cricket too. And fingers crossed, Walks in Minnesota will be investigated too. Demands should be made to audit the COVID numbers. There you go. Thank you to Mary T, who says, what about mistreatment of troops in D.C., improperly cooked food, metal shavings in food? Wow, crazy. Thank you to Tyrannius, who says, Don Lemon told Andrew Cuomo he likes hardcore. Okay. Shout out to Constitution 99 who says, Governor reads Mississippi. Mississippians don't need handlers. As numbers drop, they can assess their choices and listen to the experts, I guess. I just think we should trust Americans, not insult them. Yes, exactly. We know what the challenges are. We know what the problems are. We know how to protect ourselves. Let us do that. Let us do that. That shouldn't really be a big thing to say. Thank you for that. Thank you to Lila who says, New York doesn't have term limits. Cuomo will probably get reelected. Sad. That's a shame. It's really a shame. I mean, people like Cuomo get reelected and you see what he's done. People have died. Thousands died under his watch unnecessarily, allegedly. So I don't really get it. Thank you to Furniture Xbox who says, guilty of homicide, 15,000 counts, United States Constitution, Title 18, Section 242, color of law. Thank you to Shaggy Boy for the donation. Shout out to Debauchee for the thumbs up. Thank you to Terranius who says, Biden doesn't like green eggs and ham. He was all about the insure. No doubt. Let me see. Thank you to Amy V who says, you can buy Mein Kampf right now on Amazon for $45.99. Dr. Seuss Mulberry Road, $499 from private vendor. Crazy. Justice Smith says, thanks to Governor Reeves, we are FWEE at last. Oh, we are FWE at last. Shout out to Wolfgang who says, I agree. Dr. Seuss books offer learning the language, regardless of whatever is in there. It's like how I've been looking into crypto mining. Thank you to No Trash in Heaven who says, Miss Cracker that I am, I crack up hearing blackity black black. Hey, it's funny to me too. We enjoy it. Shout out to Dexter for the running emoji. I appreciate you, boss. Thank you to Amy who says, can we circle back to the defeated? I'm super interested in your opinion. Met with the principal this week. Wasted time looking into homeschooling. Hey, do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. Shout out to Marcus who says, ABL, did you know Dr. Seuss is properly announced Dr. Seuss? I can tell you more about it if I get through on the calls. I had no idea. Thank you for that. Thank you to David who says, hello from Bothell. Can't stand it in this liberal state, but I'll manage. Keep up the good work. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Thank you to Angel who says, thanks for your show and insight. I look forward to it. Well, thank you for your support. Couldn't do it without you. And shout out to Wolfgang who says, as a veteran, these National Guardsmen need to man up, tighten lips, and figure out their own issues. Cook your raw food somehow. Request MREs. Hey, whatever they got to do, it's got to get done. All right. You know what time it is, guys. Time for the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. And if you want to call in through Skype and be right here in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, there's a number for that in the description box below. I did see that Long Tong Son asked me, did I hear about the fortress built around the courthouse for George Floyd's case? I did see that. It's amazing how the left now know that walls work. Funny how that is, huh? And shout out to Ricky D. Recht who says, not sure Dr. Seuss' picture of the Asian with the pigtail and hat was racist. That was how they wore their hair in ancient China. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like, how is it racist for a depiction that's somewhat accurate? I don't really get it. I guess you got to put people in suits and ties, although they were not wearing that back then. Or, what they want to do is not have them there at all. Just totally eliminate them and have only the white man be there. And then the reaction to that would be, oh, you're not being inclusive. You're not showing cultural diversity. You can't win for losing with these morons. All right. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. The email to join in Skype as far as video and audio is in the description box below. Let me get Skype tightened up right quick. Let me get right on the line. So y'all just hang in there. And let's do, okay, that's straight over there. All right, check. Cool, we good with that. And let me get my settings together, and then we'll be good to go. So let's do this here. And app volume. Let's turn that down a little bit. Cool. We good to go. Alrighty. Actually, hold on 1 second. There we go. Perfect. All right. Turn it down a little bit. Okay. I call you on line speaker to 817.
Hey, can you hear me?
I hear you well. What's going on?
Not much. It's my first time calling. To actually ask you a couple of questions, but first one, have you heard of the Foxhole app? I was wondering if you'd be able to come over to it. I'd love to see you over there.
No, I've not heard of that. Who, like, what? Can you tell me a little bit about it?
So the Foxhole app is part of there are two apps that are sort of tied into one another. One of them is called pilled.net. The other is called the Foxhole app. You'll have to type those into your address bar and sort of sideload them instead of getting them through the App Store. But they were created by what I like to, I don't want to say it on because your live stream, I don't want to get you in trouble. But they like to talk about things that, you're not really always allowed to talk about on certain platforms. But they're total patriots, total free speech advocates. I'd really love to see you over there just, as an additional, I know you're streaming on several platforms, but that's another great option. They're working on a lot of stuff. So I would recommend you go and check that out because they also like to have people, they like to bring people on who have been telling the truth for a long time. And that's you. You're one of them. So I highly recommend you look into that. We got a lot of patriots over there that would love to hear from you. But I also wanted to laugh with everybody about how the minute Greg Abbott lifts our restrictions in Texas, all of our liberals in Texas are acting like they never expected to reopen again. And it's hilarious. They are furious. They're wishing death on him and on us for agreeing with him.
That's crazy. I mean, what's the big deal? Because at a certain point, you got to come back. You can't just stay locked down forever. Did they think it would just last until the end of time?
That's what I'm asking. I'm like, I mean, it's not like they were a lot of them were on government benefits before, and then a lot of them were already not giving a damn about their kids' education before. So, they doesn't make a difference to them. At least at this point, they have an excuse to do absolutely nothing for themselves and their families. But
right.
I just thought that was hilarious, and I wanted to let everybody know to check out pilled.net and foxhole.app, and ABL, you'd be a great addition to that family. It would be really, really wonderful to see you over there.
Well, I'll check it out, and I thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you. Have a good show.
All right. Thank you. All right. Yeah, I've never heard of them, so I'll check them out and see what's going on. So the number to call, 434-658-1220. I think Skype might have messed up. Hold on. Let me make sure that I'm straight. Yeah, be good. All right, 724, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL and Zach.
All right, man. What's going on?
How you doing, ABL, my man? How you doing?
Everything's all right, man. Can't complain about yourself.
Doing all right. Hey, man, I just want to say, I called in last week, and I talked about the left taking things too far. And since that last call, we've had Mr. Potato Head canceled, Dr. Seuss canceled, right?
Yeah.
And apparently Amazon Hitler canceled. Didn't even remotely look like Hitler. It's a piece of tape and an arrow that looks like a smiley face, right?
Right.
That's crazy. I mean, I rest my case on that. I mean, every day it's getting worse, man. If you don't think, I know some people are dooming and glooming a little bit about the way things are going, but if you don't think normies are noticing this stuff, I don't know what to tell you. They definitely are.
Oh yeah, like it's an issue people are seeing. People are like, okay, this is going way too far. We're going down the rabbit hole I don't want to go down. And I think at a certain point it'll come to a head where people just say, okay, enough. We're not going to just cancel stuff. And it's going to be kind of the opposite effect. Just like what happened with Goya last year. They tried to cancel it, but the end result was they got more sales than ever. So I think that might be the opposite effect of what they think is going to happen. Yeah,
I heard you earlier talking. I didn't know that they were trying to cancel Goya again. Good luck with that. That ain't happening, man. But what I wanted to ask you about is you're in Virginia, right?
No, I'm in Tennessee. I'm from Virginia. Like I grew up there, but I'm in Tennessee now.
Okay. Well, did you hear about the new pullover law they instituted over there in Virginia yet?
You said the pullover law?
Pullover law, yeah.
No, what happened?
There's a new legislation taking effect. It says Monday. It makes it harder for authorities in Virginia to pull over drivers. Several minor infractions can no longer be the primary reason police stop you while you're driving.
Do you know any of the infractions?
What's that?
Do you know any of the infractions you can't get pulled over for anymore?
Yeah. I'll read some of them off to you.
Okay.
Certain defective equipment, objects dangling from your rearview mirror, loud exhaust, tinted windows, and the officer smelling marijuana.
Oh my God! Wow. Hey, you know what?
It says,
check it out. You know, I'm from Virginia. Okay, I know a lot of guys been in jail for drugs. Drugs are Virginia is a hub for drugs. Norfolk, all of that, a drug hub, because you got the water right there, and you got drugs coming from overseas, China, Europe, all of that, cocaine, weed, meth, heroin, all of that right there, and it goes from Norfolk up 95, 64, down to Georgia, all of that, and from Georgia, Texas, all of that, through Norfolk up to DC, Baltimore. If you get guys in the car with tinted windows, smoking weed, New York plates with 4 adults, you have drug dealers. You can get them right there and find 100 pounds of crack right there. So that's crazy. I might do a video on that.
Well, I think it's all due to the BLM protests and stuff. They don't want officers pulling people over. They have it in their mind that these officers are just killing everybody. They pull every black person they're pulling over. But in addition to that, it says an expired inspection or registration sticker. You can still get pulled over, but it has to be at least 4 months late. So that's what they're doing.
That's crazy.
The social justice advocates says they consider this a win. It says, I think it's a first step. It's a huge first step. Said some. They interviewed some lefty.
Is there a name? Is there a name right there?
Well, the person that they quoted?
Yeah.
Brad Hayward, founder and executive director of Justice for Virginia. So my thing is, it's a huge first step. How far are they going to go with it? Are they going to say you can't pull over anybody for anything? If it's a black driver, we can't pull them over. It just, I don't know.
Crazy.
It just kind of goes back to you talking about taking things too far. I mean, some people might not disagree with some of the things, but small infractions, But how far are you going to take it?
Right.
Like you said, they pull over a lot of people and they got drugs. They're pushing drugs. You got to catch them. But I don't know. I didn't hear the whole show. I didn't know if you talked about it at all yet. But I just wanted to let you know about that. Maybe look into that. Thought you might be interested.
Oh, I am interested. I am very interested. Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Oh, no problem. Have a good night.
Wow. Okay. So this is the guy he was talking about. I guess it's him right here, Brad Haywood. So that's him. Put it on the screen. That's your man right there. That's the super alpha guy right there. Leader of Justice Forward. And he's a public defender for Arlington County and Falls Church. That's DC, basically. Okay. So I guess that's right there. We committed to pull VA out of the Stone Age of criminal justice with this session, and by our tally, our legislature has done just that. We are proud to help move justice forward as Virginia progresses toward a more contemporary, humane, evidence-informed legal system. So probation reform, drug defelonization. Okay, they're trying to get drugs defelon. Listen, you're going to have guys that, I'll put it to you like this. The crime in Virginia is going to be, when I was in Virginia, before all this nonsense right here passed, I was watching the news one night, and there was this young boy young dope boy from Norfolk that went around the interstate. Because the Interstate 64 is like, well, in Virginia, well, in that part of Virginia, it's like a ring right around to all the cities, basically. South side, really. And he stopped at every gas station he could along the interstate. He would just get on the interstate, hop off, station right there, back on the interstate, station right there. He robbed like 6 places in one night, like on the ring of the interstate. So if you got him out there doing that, an easy way to catch him in the act before you know he did anything is if he got weed in his car, busted tail light, because generally that's how they kind of are moving around. So all you got to do is pull him over. Oh, you got a gun. Oh, you got drugs. Oh, you are a wanted person. Hands behind your back, sir. When you can't have that anymore, all you're going to do is have crime spike up. It's so dumb. People are stupid. You live in a false church. You living in probably some gated community away from the actual mud where I come from, where I know what is actually going on. But I digress. All right. So let's go. Okay. I was a bit too slow for that one. 504, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
You can't have that in it. Hello?
Yes, who am I speaking to?
This is Chris from New Orleans.
All righty, Chris, what's happening?
Oh, not much. I just wanted to say that I believe that the rebirth of racism is primarily to divide the middle class.
Okay.
Because the middle class is the largest voting group in the United States. And by separating us, that's how they get their way.
I mean, it makes sense to me. It makes sense. And also, they're trying to dismantle the middle class. They're trying to break it apart to where there isn't more middle class. There's only those that have and those that don't have it. So if you can break us apart, there's less resistance when they're trying to eliminate us.
Yeah, I think we grew together too much, like in the 80s and 90s, and then they started to realize that we were finding out that we had more in common than race could accommodate for, and they had this rebirth of racism throughout the 2000s and the 2000 teens, and this is just the climax that it's come to.
Right. Yeah.
People need to wake up and realize that the middle class is the strongest force in this nation, and we can do this if we stick together. We just need to ignore their rhetoric.
I agree with you 100%. Absolutely. I mean, all this racism and stuff like that, these are just, silly issues that are artificial, like you said, that are created by the outside to try and divide us. We can't fall for it.
That's right. Anyway, that's all I had to say, man.
Well, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, man.
That was a great call. Yeah, that divide and conquer is very real. It's an old tactic, but it's used a lot, and they use it because it's effective, unfortunately. But, the average normie, they got to get more informed to understand what's happening so they can prevent falling for that whole game that they're trying to play. 860, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, the water honor, sir. Al, I'm from Connecticut, unfortunately. I used to be from Florida. I got canceled from my job for being white, but forget that. I was going on about Black Lives Matter.
Okay.
And they're trained Marxists. Well, Trump shut down that embassy in Texas that had over 127 CCP operators.
Yeah.
And the Confucius clinics that are in the colleges and universities, they got to go. I mean, Joe Biden went there with his son Hunter on Air Force Two and brought back $1.5 billion. And the biggest problem in the black community is if a black woman with single mom with kids. Is this ABL?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure. But the biggest single problem that I see, and, me being a racist white man, gold teeth and hair weaves do not make you a queen. Dr. Ben Carson's mother could not read But her kids didn't know that. And look what she did, the amazing job that she did of raising those kids. Every one of her kids is successful, despite being raised in the ghetto of Detroit, Michigan. And I spent several years as the only white boy in a ghetto school that was shut down in Fort Wayne, Indiana. It was shut down in 74 for being too violent. I had left about a year before then. I'd survived, luckily. And then it was permanently shut down in 76. So I know what race is. You know, my dad told me in 1,000 years we're all going to be brown. It don't matter. And I've always lived my life like that. And that's all I got. And enjoy your show. I love listening to intelligent people. And God bless you. And I'm from Virginia, too. I was born there.
Oh, what part were you born?
I was born in Norfolk. My dad spent 22 years in the Navy.
Oh, yeah. Same with my uncle. Navy guys. So shout out to your uncle. Shout out to your, was it your father or your uncle?
My dad, he died years ago. I wish he got to meet my kids. I have 2 kids that are half Filipino, half white, 8 and 12. And they're my joy. But I just recorded a small clip off the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, where he, you know, his father doesn't want to be around him.
Yeah.
You know, he's always in and out, and how he broke down and cried about that.
Yeah.
And that's it. Candace Owens talks about it. You talk about it. Brandon Tatum talks about it. You know, and and I know my dad, and I've seen other kids who are white, and they have the same problems. You know, because they didn't have a strong role model. The most successful women, despite race, are those that have a strong male role model.
Exactly, 1,000%. That was my dad, strong male role model. He was in the military, firefighter, all of that. That was my, you know, my bar to reach. And a lot of guys don't have that, and they just, you know, there's no guidance, there's no direction. They're pretty much just lost in the world.
Exactly, and I think this is all done on purpose because the Chinese government is at total war, and people don't understand that. I spent my first 3 years in the Army as a radio teletype operator for a 3-star general in charge of 3 countries worth of nuclear missiles. You know, I read emails from Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan, Joint Chiefs of Staff, every embassy and every command on the planet, and I never talked about any of it in almost 40 years, you know, but I don't look for information around the world when I got it in the palm of my hand by watching CNN.
Right.
And that's all I got. I mean, God bless you for the work you do. And we got to take our country back. I love this country. I've been around the world. I spent 6 months in Siberia working a Russian military airframe, or not a military, the MC-21 airliner. And I was in Siberia for 3 months, and then even though I had fun playing with the Russians, oh God, I had a ball. But they invited me to be a first flight test mechanic in Moscow, and so and it's the aircraft that actually Boeing should have built. But that's all I got. God bless you. Love your show. I really do.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
You take care. God bless Virginia.
Absolutely.
Bye.
All right. Shout out to the call. Shout out to the call. Great call. Absolutely. All right. Oh yeah. I got some breaking news right quick. YouTube took down my my video when I live streamed Trump. So hold on. Let me see if I can put it up. Can I? Let me just try that right quick without putting it up. Is it gonna let me? Okay, let's do that. Now, I won't let me do it the way I want. But yeah, so it says, our team has reviewed your content, and unfortunately, we think it violates our spam, deceptive practices, and scams policy. We removed the following content from YouTube. Video, Donald Trump speaks live at 2021 CPAC Orlando. It might be disappointing, but it's safe. YouTube is a safe space for all. If content breaks our rules, we remove it. If you think we've made a mistake, you can appeal, and we'll take another look. Keep reading for more details. So basically, they took down my the Trump video. I figured they might do that, but they didn't do it while it was streaming. So basically, I think what happened was this. This is my just guess, my assumption. They knew we were going to stream it, of course, because it's the biggest speech of the year. Really, everybody was going to stream it. Right Side Broadcasting had 400,000 concurrent, so they knew it was going on. They knew everybody was streaming it, but they were going to let it rock, stay up for a little while, and after like the third or fourth day, when the views started to die down, they went ahead and just take it off because they don't want it to be there as an archive. So I did not get a strike. It was just a warning, quote unquote warning. So, I mean, if I appeal it, I already know, like, this is a political decision. So if I appeal it, it ain't gonna do nothing, really. So, hey, that's a game. And that's why it takes a lot of us to be out there spreading the word that I'm spreading among people that we know everywhere, because they're trying to stop stuff. But really, they can't stop it because it's already out there. Cat's out the bag. It's everywhere. It's all on C-SPAN and everywhere else. And I'm gonna re-upload that if I can. If they let me re-upload it, I think I still might have it somewhere. I'm not really sure, but I'm gonna put it back up some kind of way if I can, for sure. All right. But yeah, I figured they would do that. I was surprised that I was able to stream it at all. I figured it'd be a gamble to stream it, but they went ahead and removed it. So if you're trying to watch that stream that we did on Sunday, it's gone now. All right. They might bring it back up, but who knows? All right, call you online. I'm speaking to you, 617.
Yeah, this is Simon, man. Hey,
All right.
real quick, 3 minutes. Do you have any evidence about the mask not working? Any scientific evidence?
Oh, I have doctors that say that it doesn't work. I have Anthony Fauci saying it doesn't work. Anthony Fauci said it.
You have who?
Anthony Fauci said it.
Who? No, he never said that.
He sure did.
That's not what he said.
You want to hear it?
He never said that. I already explained to you.
You want to hear it?
Say that.
I have the evidence.
Again?
You said, do I have the evidence? I got the evidence. So do you want to hear it or no?
He never said that. He said
Wait, sir, hold on. You said, do I have evidence? I said, yes, I do. So do you want to hear it or no? Do you want to hear the evidence?
I want to hear it.
Huh?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let me find it right quick.
Hear it.
Let me find it right quick. Give me a second, because I got to just dig it up.
Mm-hmm.
And this is him in March 2020. It's not a long time ago, old stuff. Nah, this is pretty recent. Let me dig it up right quick, and then I will get you what you need. And let's go back to, here we go. Now, can you hear this?
There's no reason to be walking around with a mask.
Yep, probably, okay, sure.
When you're in the middle of an outbreak, wearing a mask might make... Right now, people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask. When you're in the middle of an outbreak, wearing a mask might make people feel a little bit better, and it might even block a droplet, but it's not providing the perfect protection that people think that it is. And often, there are unintended consequences. People keep fiddling with the mask and they keep touching their face.
And can you get
I didn't hear, but I know what he said.
sort of
He's
staying
saying
inside there?
You don't need to wear a mask now.
But when you
the
think
mask will only
masks, you
prevent
should think of healthcare
for
providers
prohibiting a
needing
droplet
them
or two.
and people
That's
who
what
are
he said,
ill.
right?
Yes.
Right now, people should
That's
not
what he
be
said.
walking. There's no
That's what he
reason to
said.
be walking around with a mask.
So that means mask is
When
still
you're in the
preventing you for someone else getting the virus. It's been scientifically proven. That's number one. Number two.
Wait. Hold on. He said it might block a droplet or two, meaning that's the whole point of the mask. Wait a minute, because this what you were just saying. You were saying that. Wait a minute, because what he was just talking about right there was wearing the mask to protect the other person, and that's the whole point of blocking the droplets. Wait, sir, I'm not done talking. That's the whole point of blocking the droplets. It might block a droplet or two, meaning it's not really blocking that many, and the virus is very small. He said it right there. This is March 2020.
No. The mask will protect you. Depend on first of all, there's many different type of masks. One mask are more protected than other masks. The quality of the mask depends on the prevention of the virus.
So what kind of mask? What kind of mask, sir?
That you don't.
So what kind of? I'm gonna put you on mute right quick. What kind of masks are people generally using?
The regular mask.
Okay, so is that really working?
Okay.
Is that really working?
Yes, because reduce 50% of the virus from going from one person to another person. So it's a 50% chance versus wearing no mask that will be 0%. So I'd rather have a 50%. It's like you telling somebody don't wear a condom at all, or wearing a condom that has the quality like the latex condom that will protect you 95%. You understand what I'm saying? This is the level of stupidity that we believe in now. Just tell somebody don't wear a condom or wear a condom that have a less quality that protects you 50%.
Come on, be for real.
Use the 50%.
Now, check it out. Check it out. Now, here's a question.
I'll move on.
No, here's a question.
I can't stand that stupidity.
Sir, here's a question. Now, the question is, California has mask mandates. Florida does not. Is California faring better than Florida?
Well, you know, California is a major city.
Yes or no question, please. Yes or no question. Is California faring better than Florida? Yes or no?
No, because you can't evaluate situation in base of these type of studies.
So
Because
why is California not doing better than Florida?
California is different than Florida.
How are they different?
California is different than Florida because the outbreak, the first major outbreak happened in California, not in Florida. Happened in New York, not in Florida. So you can't really determine.
Wait. You said what? Hold on. Back up. You said the first outbreak happened where?
In California and New York.
No, it was in New York. The first outbreak was in New York, not California.
Yes, happened in California.
No, it wasn't. It was in New York. New York and New Jersey. That's where the first outbreak happened.
Yeah, but you can't use these type of.
So the first outbreak happened. The first outbreak happened in New York. So why is California not faring better than Florida?
California, the numbers are declining in California right now. In New York, they're declining.
Why is California not faring better than Florida?
When they started, they have major outbreaks. Look at the numbers in New York now. The numbers in New York, they are declining.
Sir, you're talking about New York. I said California and Florida. I didn't say New York. I know New York is where the first outbreak happened. California was not where the outbreak happened. New York was where the outbreak happened. So, again, I'm asking you a question. If you can't answer it, that's fine. But why is California not faring better than Florida when Florida has no mask mandate and California does?
So what you're saying that masks don't work? That's what you're saying?
The question, I ask you one more time. If you can't answer, I'm going to just go to the next call. The question was, why is California with mask mandates not faring better than Florida with no mask mandates? You get one more time to answer. If you can't, I'm going to get to the next call.
You saying that masks don't work?
All right. Have a nice day.
Have
a nice day, sir. All right. I don't got no time for that. Let's get to the next call. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. A simple question. If the mask works so well, then why is Florida thriving and California is not? You should be the other way because California got mask mandates, right? So what's the problem? I don't get it. Yeah, Steve-O says you got mask mandates in Florida, just not all over. Yeah, it ain't like California where it's all over, where it's, more strict. That's the whole thing. It's an example of the whole gun control thing. There's gun control in every state to a certain extent, but to what level? Can you just buy a bazooka anywhere? No, but it's not to the point where you can't, it's a 10-round magazine limit. It's not like that everywhere. There's some control, there's some measures, but it's not as strict. But the strict places tend to have worse violence. So it's like, what's really going on? All right, it's Skype caller. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, man, that was crazy with Ivan. I'm like, Ivan, the man we love to hate. He gets me fired up. One reason maybe why the numbers in New York are down is because Cuomo has killed so many of them. Sadly, I'm not saying that lightly, but it's probably true.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
So I've been filling up your mailbox lately. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Yeah, I've seen. I know. I read all my emails. Yes.
So as a teacher, the one that I was so upsetting to me, it was the new Gay BC book. Did you see that?
I've not seen that.
So the video that I sent you, you need to watch it. There's this little boy and he's reading the Gay BC book, but he's obviously very autistic. and you see it with the hand movements and the.
I did see that. I saw he's like a little boy. It's like a camera that was like right on him. You could tell that he didn't really know what he was saying because he's like as a little boy, like probably about what 3, 4 years old.
4 years old.
Yeah.
And they learn by rote. They're learning rote memory. You know, we learn the ABCs by rote. Then we start putting meaning to it. Then we start putting those word parts together, and it creates words. And it's language. But I'm telling you what, I always try to be real upbeat and happy. I'm telling you what, that made me so angry. A, ally. B, by. C, coming out. Really? Why? I mean, I'm not for teaching sexuality to any age group, much less these young children.
It's crazy. It's just way too much. And I kind of caught this, unfortunately. Not that I'm trying to but I kind of saw it coming, and people were trying to tell me I was crazy. And it's like, no, I see it writing on the wall, and here we are. This is just way too much. Leave the kids alone. There should be no sexuality at their age at all. Period. Little kids, what do they know about that? It needs to be just talking about learning your regular ABCs, not any kind of agenda placed on top of it. It was crazy.
And this book is on Amazon, and that's okay. Yet they've taken and banned, Dr. Seuss and the documentary of Clarence Thomas.
Yes,
they've
Clarence
taken
Thomas.
that off. So all of us know none of this makes sense to anybody. So, like I said, I try to always stay real upbeat, and I make my videos and I'm like, yeah, but I'm telling you what, that made me angry as a teacher, and as a teacher who works with special needs students, that was heartbreaking to watch.
Yeah, I hear you. I really do.
Last comment, the White House YouTube page, which the only reason I go there is to click on and give a dislike and click off. Because did you know that they won't allow comments on the YouTube clips of the White House?
I saw that, yeah.
And the other night they accidentally left them on, and I was watching, and within 15 minutes they had like 400 scathing comments.
Flaming, yeah, I could tell. I can imagine how colorful the comment section was that particular time.
I might have added one or two, but that's very telling. So I'm with the thumbs down movement. Let's everybody go right now. Like ABL, everybody the likes, like, but go there and do thumbs down. You get like 88,000 thumbs down to 700 likes. That's a little thing I like to call a clue.
That's right, 100%.
Okay, that's it. I just had to rant about that book. I was so upset.
Well, I thank you for your call.
Oh, and in California, they are now teaching to students that pedophilia is a sexual orientation.
Wow. Wait. See, I mean, we kind of seen it coming. And here we are. It's crazy. It's a criminal offense. It's not any kind of thing, no kind of orientation. You can go to jail. It's not, it's crazy.
They changed the law so that a 21-year-old can have sexual relationships with as young as 11 without being registered as a sex offender. I've got a lot of links I can send you, but sometimes I think I might overwhelm your email box.
Oh, it's all good.
See you guys. Thanks.
All right. Thank you for the call. Wow, that's crazy. But, these things are happening. It's and it's the whole thing with gay marriage. I was saying that before. It's like, okay, they're going to have gay marriage. That's going to be the first ball to drop. And then they're going to say, well, how about getting with more than one person? And then, like I said before, in California, they put 3 dads on a birth certificate. How is this possible? 3 men cannot produce a baby. 2 men cannot produce a baby. 1 man cannot produce a baby. It takes 1 man and, keyword, 1 woman. So how do you have 3 dads on a birth certificate? How does it make any sense? It doesn't make any sense at all. But that's what we got going on right now. So then they say, all right, You can have 2 men to get married, 2 women to get married. Then you can have 3 men to have a baby, which is not possible biologically at all. And then they say, all right, well, what if I want to marry somebody that's younger than 18 or younger than 16 or younger than 14? And then the beat goes on. When I saw that they had this man that identified as a 6-year-old girl, and he was with this so-called family that was treating him like that, but also probably doing something to him, I'm like, see, now we're going down the rabbit hole that I don't want to go down. And there's going to be a kickback away from this, for sure. It's going to be a kickback, and it's going to be a problem. All right, let me get to the next one. 860, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, hi, ABL. It's Sonia. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
All right. I'm a little behind on the live, and I was mesmerized by something about pedophilia and, oh, my God, what the teacher was saying there.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to hear that later. Wow. So on a lighthearted tip then, I just want to say that I'm highly offended by the statement flattening the curve. Do you want to know why?
Why?
It's rooted in sexism, misogyny, and not to mention it goes against any sort of body positivity.
Wow. So if you got a curvy person and you say flatten the curve, that's anti-woman, it's misogynistic. It comes from a male-centric point of view, and it's insensitive. So we got to stop using that kind of language.
I'm trying to think about it. I put myself in their shoes and figure out what is the kind of stuff they'd come up with. But I was a little surprised by the Dr. Seuss. And the only reason is because these are the same people who put Thing 1 and Thing 2 in office. I thought they were fans of his work.
Right. It makes sense.
And ironically, I stumbled upon an article that was published back in 2013 where there was some issue with Ted Cruz. He said something about Obamacare or whatever. And so in response to that, Politico published an article that said that experts say that Seuss would be offended. And this was the quote. Seuss was a liberal Democrat, and he would not have much patience for people like Mr. Cruz. So I'm thinking if Seuss is a liberal Democrat and he were alive today, he would have canceled himself?
I guess so. I mean, it kind of gets weird when they're talking about, all these different little things, all these little different, these little caveats. It gets kind of confusing.
Yeah, I guess that's what it means when they're eating themselves. Like the other thing you were talking about, you did a video about it. So it's not a sign of empowerment when a young, woke, unapologetically black female poet handpicks the person she wants to translate her work into another language?
It's crazy. It's like, okay, you have the woke black woman is pro-black, blackity black, super liberal, and says, okay, I want you to translate my work. And then you get another one, like the super straighter version, the upgraded version of her, of the black girl. You get another one of those, and Netherlands says, nope, we can't do that. She's not black. She's not woke enough. Therefore, we got to cancel it. So and they're starting to fight each other because they can't. There's not enough of us to fight, so they got to fight each other.
Yeah, I mean, and realistically, were you supposed to search high and low for the appropriately melanated person in a place like the Netherlands?
Exactly. It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, because Netherlands, 3% black, it's like needle in a haystack. To find someone that can not only, understand Dutch, but translate English into Dutch.
And seriously, while we're talking about all of this, other stuff, which is to me a distraction, and then when the teacher, went in there live and she spoke about what she did, because all this other stuff is just like nonsensical and not important. I mean, I like Dr. Seuss, and I know they helped a lot of kids read and all that, but they're sneaking things in on the side and we're not paying attention with all this symbolism, right? Removing things off shelves and canceling, for example, and I'll leave you with this. BLM is distracted by all this woke, symbolism, and it's immigrants first. When you get a chance, see if you can check out Twitter, and someone's page there is called @Dow_Lopez, and that's DOW_Lopez. And the reason why I'm leaving you with this is because she posted a pic of a bunch of immigrants, and they're like on their knees with signs, and they're all wearing T-shirts, just like the ones that people were wearing for Biden's campaign. So somebody gave it to them, and the caption says, "Illegal immigrants wearing Biden, please let us in" shirts for photo op. And the question is, who's funding it?
That's a great question. There's plenty of money to go around from all these different organizations. There's definitely some money behind this whole thing happening here.
And the videos there, you can see them all there with the shirts on their knees. It's, again, at Dow_Lopez. And I'll leave you now. Have a good show.
All right. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Okay. So I'm going to find this picture here. So let's see if I can. Okay. I'm going to try to find it. If you guys see it, shoot it to me, Twitter or somewhere else. All right, let's get to the next one. 434-658-1220. The number is always in the description box below, right at the very top. And it's also right here at a certain point in the ticker. So it'll come about once it gets to that particular space in the show. All right, let's get to the next one. So, Mitch Girl POV, what's going on?
Hi, good evening, ABL. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. About yourself?
Awesome, I'm good. Thank you. Great live stream of President Trump's speech the other day. So you rock. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Thank you.
It felt like it was Christmas when he gave his speech. But so anyhow, okay. So I wanted to see if you had heard about this and what your thoughts were. According to a recent Daily Mail article, there is a professor, Jeff Burrell, in Michigan, who works at Michigan Technological University, who is claiming that he's been systematically discriminated against for being a Caucasian male.
Uh-oh.
His school, his school recently passed a resolution criticizing anti-Blackness and systematic racism at the school and in their society. Burrow feels that he, quote, has been systematically discriminated against for 40 years for being a white male, end quote. So I have heard, and maybe you have too, ABL, I have heard of Caucasian men feeling this way before. What are your thoughts about it? Do men who feel this way have a valid point, and what do you think they should do about it?
I mean, they have a valid point. I mean, because anybody can be discriminated against, and you're talking about white male and a lot of these professions, yeah, it's definitely a thing where if you don't fit the certain criteria, the certain racial quota, the invisible quota they have, then you're pretty much going to be the odd man out. That's just kind of how it goes. With affirmative action and stuff like that, especially, they tend to go more towards black female because it's two birds with one stone. You get the woman and the minority rather than the straight white male. You like pretty much like the straight white male and the straight black male are like two peas in the pie. There was a think piece that came out from this website called quote unquote Very Smart Brothers, Very Dumb Brothers. But anyway, the think piece came out and they were saying that straight black men are the white people of black people. I'm like, okay, I see what's going on here. I see what's happening. So yeah, there's definitely a case for that. And, I say to anybody that feels that way, don't be too afraid to say something. I know sometimes it can be worse by saying something because then it's like, okay, you're a racist. But if it becomes enough of an issue, at a certain point, it's going to be hard to ignore. And if those of us that can have a voice can help them in that goal, I think that'd be good as well. To really get the whole idea out there that racism is not okay, period.
That's right. It's not okay to be racist. And I think everyone should just have a fair chance at, whatever it is. And people shouldn't be discriminated against because of the color of their skin. And I know that there are some Caucasian brothers and sisters amongst us who are like feeling kind of like they're, kind of like set aside, and they may be looked over for positions at jobs and things like that because, they're Caucasian. So you're right. Like it might have to go to like the African-American woman or, the Mexican-American woman or things like that. So it's, I hope that we can help, share the message. You're right. Help sharing and getting it out because I don't really think anyone should be, racism is just not cool, period. Like it doesn't matter. It's about what's in here. So, all right. Well, thank you for taking my call. I appreciate it, ABL. You take care and God bless.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to Mixed Girl POV on the YouTubes. She does have a channel, Mixed Girl, MIXED Girl, GIRL POV, Mixed Girl POV. Check her out on the YouTubes. Let's get to the next call. And we have All right, let's go. 615. Oh, okay. Let's try one more time. All right, caller, we're on the line. 747. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, it's Jacob Miller.
All righty, what's going on?
I super chatted you earlier. I told you not to get too full of yourself and stay humble.
Oh yeah, I mean that's just me. I can't do nothing else but be me.
Because you're on your way up. We know it. I mean, you're the bomb, dude. Love you.
Appreciate it.
Oh gosh, so much. My gosh, where do I start? Okay, well, first of all, I want you to know you're not my number one. You're actually my number two. I start my day with Ben Shapiro because I just think he's like the smartest guy on the planet. Not that I agree with everything he says, but his brain must be an incredible place to be in.
Yeah, smart guy, definitely, absolute smart guy.
Yeah, he's really smart. So he keeps me sharp. But I was going to talk about something else. But the last lady was talking about what happens to white guys. I'm a gay dinosaur. You know, I have no friends because I've become moderate and I used to be left. You know, so I did hair my whole life. I decided because I'm having some physical problems to go back to school and get a degree in ultrasound. So when I was 48, I went back to school, studied really hard. I did clinical rotations in South Central Los Angeles, scanning babies, you know, for minority people. Boy, that's really partly a lot of what drove me to the right after that whole experience. But, you know, I graduated top of my class, passed my physics board, sat for my OB, obstetrics gynecology board, and my vascular board. The vascular is the hardest to get. And I volunteered at Desert Regional Hospital for 6 months, 3 days a week in Palm Springs, California. 1 day in the cardiac cath lab, 1 day in the ICU, and another day shadowing the premier heart surgeon. And do you know, after like 5.5 months, someone, you know, one of the guys who works there puts his arm around me as I'm like walking, you know, to the break room or something. And he goes, you know, they're never going to hire you, right? And I'm like, what? Why aren't they going to hire me? And he goes, well, you're white and you don't speak Spanish. He goes, you're never getting hired to do ultrasound here. Even though I had multiple credentials, you know, top of my class, it is a reality, unfortunately, that there is some reverse racism going on.
Now, hold on. Now, you said it was in Florida? You said it was Miami?
No, California.
Oh, California.
Palm Springs.
Oh, yeah, but California, that's basically Mexico because it's a majority Hispanic.
Exactly.
And you know what? I've heard that before. Not just about if you're white, you can't get on, but also if you're black. I heard that too. Like in certain parts, like in LA, if you want to get like a low kind of skilled job, fast food, something like that, and you don't speak Spanish, well, good luck because the majority there are from Central America. They speak Spanish. And if you're not one of them, first of all, the Hispanics tend to hire their own a lot of times over there. And you got to speak Spanish. So if you don't have both of those, then you might as well forget about it. Go to Utah or something like that and try to make it out there.
Yeah. Well, they told me, well, here's the thing. So, like, you know, because scanning babies, when people think ultrasound, the first thing they think of is scanning babies, you know, gender identification and all that stuff. And so I did, you know, part of before you graduate, you have to do so many volunteer hours. It's a year. You have to volunteer for a year full time, you know, at different clinics, you know, working with your mentors, you know, people in the medical field. So I scanned babies and did emergency medicine in Santa Ana, California, which is Orange County, and also in Los Angeles County, like South Central Los Angeles, right on Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. It was the clinic, one of the clinics I worked at. But, you know, and I can't tell you how many times I had to leave the room when it came to scanning a baby because the man, you know, the Latino men or the Middle Eastern men would not even let me be in the room when their wife was having, you know, her fetus scanned, you know, just exposing her stomach and seeing part of her breast or something, or having to go transvaginally, you know. But
okay,
it was terrible.
So they're like, because you're a male, and it's a cultural thing where it's like, oh, you're a male looking at my wife, although you're just a medical professional, it's not even like that. But it's a cultural thing going on. Is that kind of what's happening?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you have a lot of the Middle Eastern men, and the Latino men don't like it either. So you get that, Southern California is such a melting pot, and right now, I mean, it's huge. The Asian people don't have a problem with it. They respect men. They actually would prefer men working on them. They see it's like a male waiter. They see it like as a higher. If you have a man in service, they consider that to be the ultimate, but not the other cultures. You see, the Middle Eastern people and the Latins, they would allow it maybe, but they didn't like it, So a lot of times people just said, just get out of here. And then, but it was the Middle Eastern men and women who absolutely, you cannot work on these women. So it was really sad. I mean, I'm still paying off student loans. I still owe $30,000 for a degree that, basically is useless until I leave the state. And now I haven't done it for so long, I would suck. So I'm going back to doing hair. But let's see. Oh my gosh, I had written down so many things.
Well, I'm sorry, but I got limited time. So I thank you for your call, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Yeah. All right. God bless you, dude.
Thank you.
Bye.
Wow. Yeah, man. It's crazy, but it's like that. And depending upon where you are, it could be some cultural blockages that goes on, and you might not really be in the mix of it. All right, let's get to the next one here. 615, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's up, baby? It's Boom Boom Boom. How you doing?
Everything's all right, man. What's happening?
Oh man, they got a lot to talk about, man. That dude right there need to he don't need to worry about them student loans, man. Joe Biden gonna take care of them for him.
We'll see about that.
Pay them student loans right off. So I was gonna talk to you for one. Oh man, I gotta say, your Instagram, dude, you got the memes, dude. You coming through with the memes, killing them. And I'll screenshot them and I'll start posting them on mine, man. And them lefties get triggered, man, when I start posting them. They're awesome, man. And the one about the white dude who was talking about all the Aunt Jemima stuff, and then he was talking about the Quaker Oats, man. That one time I called you, I was telling you about that, man. I knew it was gonna happen. And if you pay attention, that's exactly what they were doing. It's kind of like a reverse racism psychology thing where slowly but surely they're getting rid of all the black people. And then you pay attention. I mean, Joe Biden, look who Strom Thurmond was his homeboy anyway. And so they're slowly getting rid of every little black face around, but they're keeping all the white people. And I just can't believe how many people is not really paying attention to that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's crazy. But and when I put that on my Instagram, I was seeing plenty of comments that say, "Hey, I didn't think about it that way. That's crazy. You're right." And sometimes it's got to get put out there in a certain kind of way where you could just digest it and really just understand it, because what he was saying was right on point.
Yeah, and the Quaker Oats dude, to me, as soon as they started talking about, because a couple of years ago they started talking about it, and I was like, oh, they're gonna get that Quaker Oats dude because he looks like he owns slaves just by his outfit, and his hair and the outfit. He just looked like he would. It just one of them things. And I was like, oh, they're going to get him quick. And nothing happened. Ain't nothing happened yet,
Nope.
And another thing, I know you're busy. Do you ever go to Universal Studios? Have you ever been there?
No, I've never been there.
Okay, there's a big, huge Dr. Seuss world. And it's like big, man. You got to literally, I go there every 2 years just to ride all the rides and stuff with all my people. But it's fun, but
that's in Florida, right? Orlando?
Yeah, in Orlando, yeah. So if you going to Harry Potter world, coming from Jurassic Park world, you got to walk all the way through Seuss world, and then it's so huge. It's literally half of that park, pretty much. It feels like it is. And they said today that they're closing down one of the stores, and then they're going to shut down a whole ride. That's what is the one book you said earlier? It was a book about the going to the zoo or something like that. What's the name of that one? I think you go to the.
I don't know.
Anyway, they got a whole ride that's dedicated to that, and they're going to shut that whole ride down. and then they got another a store there that's dedicated to a book, and I can't think of the name of that neither.
Hold on, we're going too fast. So they're shutting stuff down at the park because of the Dr. Seuss fallout? Seriously?
Yes. That's what I'm trying to say. Yes. They're shutting down a ride, and they're going to shut down a whole store. Like, they got these stores where you can just walk in there and buy the T-shirts, you know, with 1, 2, 3, 4, and all that mess
So
on it.
they're shutting the gift shop down?
Yeah, because of the name on the gift shop is the name of one of the books that's getting canceled.
Wow. That's crazy.
And I saw that today, and I said, "Oh no, man, come on!"
But you know
no
what?
way.
The crazy thing is that this whole canceling thing, it's only a small amount of people that really care about it. The regular person that's out there going to the park does not even care. Wouldn't even. Nope. It don't even matter. So people are kowtowing to like 5 people online on Twitter. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous. I don't understand, man. It's a crazy world, right? It's a crazy time right now, and the fact that just tripped me out, man. Because if you ever, man, now that I said something, maybe one of these days you should go there because it's pretty amazing when you're walking through it, man. It looks like like you're in a big, huge Dr. Seuss book. Like every single little dude you can think of that's in any one of those books is out there. It's some kind of statue. It's some kind of something that's like life size, and they're literally going to close that store down and they're going to shut down that ride because it was named after whatever that book is, man. I don't know if it's going to the zoo or going to the junkyard or something. I can't remember the name of it. I don't know. You said it earlier, but it's one of the books that got canceled. But anyway, I just want to let you know that, man. That's sad. So love the chat. Love the show. You're the man, dude. Love everything you do. Love the stream the other night with Donald Trump, man. I was hanging on every word. That was awesome, man. It was like Christmas in July or something, man. It was awesome, dude. So thank you, man. Have a good night.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right. So I got some news right here about the Seuss Landing at Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida. Okay, check it out. So there it is right there. Seuss Landing at the Islands of Adventure. And it says Universal Orlando evaluating experiences Dr. Seuss themed area. This is March 2nd, 2021, yesterday. Dr. Seuss Enterprises, the company that manages the late author's books and characters, will stop publishing and licensing 6 of the famed author's books because, quote, they portray people in ways that are hurtful and wrong. Okay, now there's a play area named after Dr. Seuss's book that will no longer be published. So one of the books is going to be canceled. So they're going to try to cancel the area as well, or rename it or something like that. All right. So, yeah, that's crazy. That's totally crazy. Okay, Seuss Landing also features a gift shop called Mulberry Street. Okay, yeah, that's the book right there. The gift shop's called Mulberry Street, which gets its name from And to Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street, another book that be discontinued. There's also Mulberry Street sign along the walkway. All right, so they're going to evaluate it. Seuss Landing continues to be very popular with our guests, and we value our relationship with Seuss Enterprises. We've removed the books from our shelves as they have asked, and we'll be evaluating our in-park experience too. But our guests can plan on continuing to be able to enjoy their favorite experiences at Seuss Landing. So, yeah, they might cancel the whole area of the park. It's crazy. But I can't necessarily say I'm too surprised. Disappointed maybe, but not surprised at all. All right, let's get to the next one. Number to call, 434-658-1220. Let's go ahead and get rocking and rolling. 812, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL, what's going on?
Everything's all right, man. What's happening?
Yeah, man, not much, man. I always wondered. I wanted somebody to break it down. Like, what is the deal with Black Wall Street when people bring that up? Like, what is the story behind that? Is it racism or what?
All right. Well, to give you the Cliff Notes version without going too long into it, there was a neighborhood in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and this was what they call Black Wall Street. Basically, you had black folks that were there working in the area, and they had their own part of town that they built up pretty nice. Had banks and black banks, by the way, so the whole redlining thing didn't happen. But anyway, black banks and movie theaters, all kind of stuff, clothing stores. It was a pretty built up area of the town. Now, what happened was there was a race riot in which blacks and whites were fighting. I don't know what the exact argument was over or what it was, but as a result, that particular area got firebombed during the race riot. People died on both sides of the riot. And the story that people say on the internet is that after that, there was no more Black Wall Street. But in reality, that was like right around 1920 when that happened. The 1920 era, like that period of time. It was rebuilt 4 years later, and it lasted up until integration, where it was abandoned because all the Black folks went to white stores instead. That's the real story. But the story that you hear is white folks came in and bombed it because they're racist, and it was dead after that. And because that particular part of the town was bombed, that means that anytime there's a Black area that's doing well, white folks come in and they tear it apart. But what they don't say is that there were plenty of Black Wall Streets all over the United States. Harlem was a Black Wall Street. Whatever happened to Harlem? Harlem's looking like Upper Manhattan right now with a bunch of white people and everything else. How did Black folks let that go? See, at a certain point, it comes down to personal responsibility, saying we let that go. We did not upkeep it. It's not about blaming the white man. So the real story is different from what you may hear on the internet. It's talking about Black Wall Street. And it's also a story that does not have a lot of history and context to it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, dude. Like, I'm Black, and I realize there's no way to please Black people. It literally ain't, because Black people complain about gentrification, but yet they'll still complain about, oh, the neighborhoods are trash, the houses are no good, the schools are no good, and this and that, and it's trashy everywhere. But then when the white man come and fix up the neighborhood and then raise the value, then they complain that the white man gentrified the neighborhood. It's like gentrification, for me, it's a good thing. I don't see what's wrong with fixing up a neighborhood and making it better. I'm not a financial person, but I would think that raised everybody equity of what your property was originally worth. So that's a good thing. I see it as.
It should be a good thing, but see, the problem is you got Black folks that don't want to, they want to live in poverty, but they don't want, they want to live in poverty, but live better in poverty. Because the reality is, if you want all these things to come to your neighborhood, you want development, you want a better property value, you want to have a better life experience, that's not free. You got to work for it and you got to pay for it. So if opportunity comes to your doorstep, then you should be prepared for it. Prepared to work, prepared to pay. But they're not prepared to work or pay. They want to live on the same amount of money that poverty wage or for free and have a better life. But that's just not how it is. If you're living in a suburb area, it's expensive. It costs. You got to work for it and you got to pay for it. So gentrification should be a good thing, but unfortunately, people they're not ready for it because they're used to living in the poverty and the poor experience. But you can't live like that. You got to just build yourself up. And if you're not ready, then you're not ready. And it's not the fault of those that want to bring prosperity to you, because they're giving you what you want. People are just not ready for it, and then they want to talk against it.
There's no way to please Black people, man. I know, because I try to talk to everybody, and I'll be like, so you think just because somebody's born white, they're better off than you? And they'll be like, yeah, because white people are this and that and that. So I'm just like, so y'all literally are saying white people are superior to y'all, and y'all don't even realize y'all saying that. Like, it's really no pleasing people at all. So I think we just lost, man. But a lot of Black people are waking up, I see. I think Trump red-pilled a lot of people, because he red-pilled me, when he was running back in 2016 and all of that,
Absolutely, 100%.
So when are you scheduled to be on the Fallen State?
I don't know. That could be soon. You never know.
Yeah, you gotta hook up with Hake and set that up. That would be awesome. Get you and Officer Tatum on there at the same time. That would be like
that'd be something
crazy.
That'd be wild.
Yeah, man. But thanks for taking my call, man. I appreciate everything you do, ABL.
Thank you for the call,
I'll
man.
Call again.
Appreciate you.
All right.
Hey, that was a great call, because a lot of what he said right there, I've been saying for a long time as far as like the Black Wall Street thing. And I'm reading the comments. I read the comments all the time. Oh, you're not giving the full story. Yes, I am giving the full story. Matter of fact, I'll give you more of the story about who died. It was 26 Black and 10 white. So 36 total died. There's different estimates. One estimate says 150 to 200 Black and 50 white. And then another one with 39 confirmed. It's all over the place. but they said it was 800 injured. Now, here is from Wikipedia. I'm going to read just the first paragraph. Okay, so the Tulsa massacre, the Tulsa Black Wall Street massacre, Tulsa race riot, which is what it was. It was a race riot. Mobs of white residents, many of whom deputized and given weapons by the city officials, attacked black residents and businesses of the Greenwood district in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It has been called the single worst incident of racial violence in American history. That attack carried out on the ground and from private aircraft. That's how they got the bombs in. They had private planes, private aircraft, destroyed more than 35 square blocks in the district, at the time the wealthiest black community in the United States, known as Black Wall Street. So that's what happened. So 26 black and 10 white. How did the white folks die? If it was just a matter of white folks coming in with a plane and bombing the town, how did 10 white people die? Because it was fighting going back and forth. It was mutual combat. It was just more blacks that died than whites. That's a fact. That's the reality of the situation. So let's just call it what it was. It was a race riot and people on both sides died. Simple. But let me get to the next call. All right, Jordan, what's going on?
Nothing much, ABL. What about you?
Everything's all right, man. Can't complain.
That's good. Looks like the wire strikes again. There was a Baltimore high school that was discovered that a kid near the top 50% of the class had a 0.13 GPA, and they want the school to shut down.
I mean, see, at that point, you're not even educating kids. Like, really, if the school is doing that, then you might as well shut the whole school down. And people would get mad, oh, you shutting the school down. If a kid is just being pushed through, and let's not forget this part. Let's tell the whole thing. All right, he had like a 0.1 GPA?
1.3.
A 0.13 GPA, less than zero GPA, right? Less than zero. He was in the top, he was close to the top half of his class. So he wasn't even the bottom person, he wasn't even the worst kid. He was close to the top half of the class.
Never mind that they just let this kid all the way up into senior year with that GPA. He only passed 3 courses. And now he's being told he has to start all over in freshman year.
And he's what, already like 17, 18?
Yeah.
So at that point, there's no point in going. Why start over if you got all the way to senior year and you have a 0.13? You're not being educated at all. It's a waste of time. Like, you might as well just drop out. He had missed like 300 days or something like that. When I was in school, if you missed 10 days in a semester, which is half of the year, 10 days, you would fail. So you missed 300 days in your career. You're not even going to school. What's the point? What's the point in continuing if you're not even going?
And where's the mom in all this? You know, aren't you supposed to be keeping up with your kids' grades? Because she said that, oh, no news is good news, which I think is extremely silly after finding this out, especially since your kid knew that he was doing this.
Right. I mean, it's a lot of different people to blame. The kid, obviously, for not going to school, number one. Number two, the school for just allowing him to pass. How did you get all the way to that point? I think what they're doing right now, talking about you got to repeat, is because the story went public. And they're going to say, oh, well, we're doing something. And they want to just be Johnny come lately and try to fix it now. But you should have fixed it in the 9th grade where he was messing up and kept him back then rather than just keep pushing him through. What they call it social advancement, because you don't want to be 18 years old in a class with 14-year-old kids. That's what they were doing.
You'll be in your 20s graduating high school. You know how embarrassing that is?
Nah, no way. Like, if you are that old and you got to go all the way back to the top, just go ahead and drop out. And really, he failed as a kid. The parent failed, because if you miss that many days of school, I mean, what are you doing at home? And the school failed. Everybody failed. It's failure.
It's unfortunate. Baltimore's public schools are just absolutely corrupt. I don't know if there's any way in saving them at this point if this is allowed to happen.
Nah, that particular school, I don't know about the entire Baltimore, but that school, you can go and shut it down right now. And really, I would say people that are in the school might need to get investigated. You know, is it criminal charges or what's going on? I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. Here, I want to show you something. People were curious about this. Here's my kitten.
There you go. Right. Shout out to the cat.
One more question before I head out. About Kevin Samuel, since he's been getting a lot of like celebrity recognition lately from like Tommy Lee and T.I., and his channel is booming. I talked to you about this before, but what do you think about the messages he's trying to send out to the community?
I think it's great. I think it's great because what he's doing is just giving people a dose of reality. That's the main thing, because people have these lofty expectations and they don't really understand where they are. And, you know, it's almost like free therapy, really, a free counseling session. So I love it. You know, it's good, it's quality, it's entertaining, but it's not ridiculous. So he's doing a great job.
Okay. And I want to mention this since y'all talked about Black Wall Street, and then I'll bail. Black Wall Street was burnt down in the 20s, but it was actually rebuilt.
Yeah, it was rebuilt.
That.
It was rebuilt 4 years later.
It was until integration came in like the 50s and 60s that Black Wall Street died off. That's what I found out after doing my research.
Yeah, I mean, that's the same thing. It was rebuilt 4 years later, and it lasted for 40 more years up until integration because Black people abandoned it. It wasn't because it got bombed again or nothing like that. Nah, we abandoned it because, you know, its integration is here. Oh, let's go to Neiman Marcus and stuff like that and abandon our own stuff. That's what happened.
Yep, unfortunately. Shout out to my fridge. Somebody said that. All right. You have fun, ABL. I'll be in chat. Thanks for the call.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Peace.
Peace. Yeah, I'm going to do a video about that boy that got a 0.13 GPA. That right there, I mean, if they shut that school down, there's no point. Like, if they shut that school down, I would not be surprised, and I wouldn't cry a river. I would not. It'd make sense for them to shut that down. Why have that school open if they're going to produce that? All right, let me get to the next one here. 424, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello?
Yes, 424. Who am I speaking to? What's going on?
Give me a sec, baby. What up, man? Give me a sec. I'm at work. I'm running outside so I can talk to you. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. All right, cool. Can you hear me good?
I hear you.
All right, what's up, ABL? How you doing, man?
Everything's all right.
My name is Alejandro. I'm from Los Angeles, California.
Alrighty.
What's up, man? Hey, so just, sorry. Whew, I ran outside. Yeah, dude, I just want to talk about that Dr. Seuss thing. It's pretty crazy, man, what we're allowing, to keep going on, man. And honestly, dude, I think it's just like bare minimum people doing all this shit, dude, because I don't see majority of people supporting this. Just I don't know how the fuck. Sorry, I didn't mean to cuss. So I don't know how they're getting away with all this, bro. Like honestly, like it's amazing to me. I'm Chicano, dude. I'm Mexican American, born here in LA, and my parents migrated out here. But dude, it's just like talking to my neighbors and everybody thinks this is stupid, bro, and everybody's starting to see, like, what the fuck? Even my black homeboys, they're like, yo, this is ridiculous, dude, what the heck are they doing, like, I don't know, man, I think it's just a few people, elite people, and I know when people think about LA, they're like, oh, everybody in LA must be woke, and nah, man, it's not even like that, because I went to a Trump rally for the first time, when was it, and I think it was in Sherman Oaks, bro, and it was popping, bro. It was everything. It was Chicanos, it was blacks, it was Asians. We were all out there, bro, because this is getting ridiculous, man. And we, I wasn't really political, bro. Like I didn't really follow politics. I always thought my vote didn't count. So I could care too. Sorry, I was about to cuss. I could care, I didn't care about it, bro. But with all this stuff going on, I voted for Trump, dude. I voted for Trump, and it's just, I don't know, man. Something's going on behind the scenes, bro, because I don't see a lot of people supporting what they're doing, bro. Cancel culture, canceling, Mr. Potato Head. Like, what the heck is going on, man? Like, these people are ridiculous, man. So I don't know, man. I don't know if you can shed some light or what can we do, bro, because not everybody here in LA is down with that function, bro. We're fed up with it, bro. Like it's getting crazy.
No, I think the one thing is. Nah, I'm with you, man. But I think the one thing is be more vocal because people don't always realize who's conservative or who's not conservative. You might not even know it. Your friend might be trying to hide from you. You trying to hide from them, and y'all talk about things and you realize, hey, I'm conservative, you conservative. We got similar viewpoints. So I think the main thing would be just be more vocal to each other. To just in your regular everyday life, because it might not be what you think. Like you said, you might think that LA everybody's all woke, all this and that and the third, but it's not quite that way. And there's probably a lot less woke people than you may even realize.
Yeah, exactly, bro. You know, I hear like sometimes Tatum too. Like he when he refers about LA, he's all like, "Oh, everybody out there in LA is woke," and I'm like, "Nah, dude, it's not even like that, bro. Like I live in the hood, man, and you know my neighbors, and I talk to my neighbors sometimes about politics, and you know we're all on the same page. Like, yo, this is stupid, bro. You know, they getting out of hand. You know, some of them did vote for Biden, you know, but you know now they're like, yeah, this is pretty stupid. You know, like they're getting out of control. You know, and you know when it comes down to the freedom of religion, you know all this stuff going on, man. How they're trying to cancel and all this, like, nah, dude. Being Latino, being Chicano, I'm raised with conservative values. You know, family, God, you know, and nation, dude. You know, God first, of course, but you know, like that's my values, bro. And I don't know, man. I feel like you know our people are under attack, low key, man. Like I heard you say something about reverse racism. I think that's exactly what's going on, bro. You know, they're starting. Oh, we're with you. Yes, we'll hold your hand. We'll give you some crumbs, bro. We'll give you some crumbs to keep you on our side with this little stimulus bull going on and all this. Like, I don't know, man. Some people, sometimes I talk to them, dude, and they are freaking full blown idiots. But I'm telling you, man, out here in LA, bro, even in the hood, man, in the barrios out here, bro, like a lot of people ain't with that, man. So you know, it's crazy. And like I said, I just think it's a few people, man, a few people. But, yeah, dude. But, yeah, thank you for letting me ramble, dude. I got to get back to work because I'm at work. But thank you, bro. I appreciate everything you do, man. And, yeah, man, thank you. God bless you, dude.
Thank you for the call, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you, man. Have a good one.
All right. Shout out to my man over there in L.A. at work, you know, doing your thing, man. And, you know, I think, like I was saying, be more vocal. Like, people don't even realize who's around them sometimes. He's saying talk to his neighbors and whatnot. That's good. That's what you got to be doing. And just be doing that more. Talk to more people. You know, do some organizing. You got Blexit out there in L.A. Get some more, you know, get involved politically. You know, be involved with the process. Really, be involved with the election process. Because it could be some fraud going on in L.A. and California in general. You might not even know about it. That them real big, high Democratic numbers, is that real or fake? I don't know. I have no idea. All right, so the number to call, 434-658-1220. Let me get to the next one here. All right, call you on the line. We're speaking to 657. 657, hello.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Pretty good. Hey, I just want to say thanks for taking my call. I love your show. You're my main source of news, and I just want to chime in a little bit about that last caller and something about you had said. People definitely need to be more vocal because they think that it's okay. And if you never say anything, then they're just going to kind of go along with that program, you know? And so just to bring up a good point is that, you know, a lot of people voted for Biden because they were hoping to get, you know, bailout or forgiven the student loan and things like that. And here we are at this point, and he has pretty much reneged on his promises. And so at this point, you need to, you know, hold a lot of people accountable for that vote. You know, I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican. When you vote for someone, they promise you something. They should live up by it. You shouldn't go back and reelect them for another term.
That's right, 100%. You know, it's like you can't just say, "Oh, well, I didn't get what I asked for, what I was promised, and it's okay. Vote for him again." No, hold him accountable. Like you said, if you're anybody,
exactly,
Democrat, Republican, have that be the same standard.
Yep, absolutely. And you can even use an example as you can't have a double standard. So, you know, when President Trump was in office, he's racist and he doesn't want illegal immigrants to come here. And now the Democratic Party is doing the same thing, but now they're in holding containers, or they don't let news media actually go and check it out anymore.
Right.
So, all right. Well, I won't hold you. I know you're busy, but thanks for taking my call. Love your show again, and take care.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
All righty. Let's get to the next one here. 512, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL, shout out to you right now. Thank you for all that you do. No, you speak the truth. You always do. And I think I can speak for most of the chat that we love you.
Well, thank you.
I would just want to ask you, it's me, it's Captain Deplorable. What do you think about what's going on in Texas? I'm from Alabama and I have family in Tennessee, but I'm not against what Governor Abbott's doing. We're 100% open. No masks required. What do you think, brother?
I think it's great because I mean, my thing is, if people want to do that, then that's fine. They can do it, but it shouldn't be this whole mandate thing and the confusion and the job loss and the effects of the shutdowns and the mandates have affected us more in a negative way than just being open would do. So it's a risk versus reward type thing for me, and I think the risk of having these shutdowns last is worth than what the potential reward could be.
So my mom lives in Tennessee on a farm where my grandparents grew up. My dad lives in North Alabama where I grew up, and they haven't had any issues. So I would want your opinion on, look at Florida. They just had a Super Bowl. They had people with masks, people without masks. I've been living in Texas for 2 years now. We haven't had, it's not as bad as they say in the news, bro. It's ridiculous that we are shut down. And now Abbott says, open it up. And then we get all this negative publicity from the left. For what?
I think
they want us.
I think
they want to keep us they want to keep us shut down. What do you think?
They want to control us. I think that's what's going on. Since they can't control us, then they're saying, okay, you guys are Neanderthals, all this and that and the third. That's what that is. And
but you don't think Governor Abbott is a bad person for? They keep dogging him like he's a horrible governor. He's not.
No, he's not. But you already know what it is. Like they're trying to dog him because they don't like what he did. They want to be able to control us, and since they can't, then it's a problem.
You don't have that issue in Tennessee, do you?
No, and really, I like what my police chief did in my county where I live. He got on TV and said that he's not going to enforce any mask mandate. He did that months ago. He got on TV and said
he's elected. I know. I watched you. I know. I know.
So,
my mom lives up not too far from you.
Right. So
she lives up there, but and then DeSantis. I mean, he from Florida. I mean, I'm just saying the whole country needs to look at that. Like, why are we shut down? Why do you want to be shut down? And I agree with you. Every time, I've never watched one of your shows where I didn't agree. I don't think so.
Right.
But what I'm saying is in Texas and Florida, so we're going to do what Florida's doing. We're just going to open up 100%. Everybody's freaking the hell out on the left side. Why?
You got some people that want to be in control, and then some that are just afraid. They're just totally afraid. And then I saw, I don't know if you saw me earlier, I had the little graphic up with the come and take it flag, and rather than the can, it had the mask. They're like that. And it's like, you can keep your mask if you want to keep it. It's fine. It's okay. Like, people, they're just overreacting, and they've bought into the fear mongering. They've bought totally into it, and they've internalized it. So that's their new religion, is the fear from all the propaganda that they've been taking in over the past year.
Yep, that's right. Well, I don't know, man. I always listen to you, and I pretty much never disagree with you. I would just say, look at the left coast, and they all moved here to Texas, and they're freaking out. The ones that moved here, get the hell out if you don't like it.
That's
we
right.
Want to open up. ABL, Anthony, I've seen so many local businesses here where I live, and I won't dox myself, but I would just say that's sad. I mean, they're out of business because of all this crap. And I think the DeSantis did the right thing in Florida, and I wish Abbott would have done it sooner. And they're dogging him for doing it now. We should have done it sooner.
I agree.
You got a lot of people that are out of work, family-owned businesses. They have no jobs. Their families are out of work, and they're waiting on these checks. Okay, that's the other thing I was going to ask, and I'll shut up. But it was the reopening. Okay, so finally we reopen, and people are out of work. What do you think about the stimulus package? And I'll be quiet about that because I need the check. I want it. I don't care all the pork that's in it. I do not. And I know you know what's in it, brother. But there's a lot of people that are hurting here in Texas that need that money. But the rest of it, it's not right. It's not right.
Yeah,
What do you think about
I mean, my opinion is if they're going to give any kind of stimulus or whatever, it should be just that without all the other stuff. I mean, they're talking about policies and other money that won't
Abortions
even.
for foreign countries.
Yeah,
Think about that.
And a lot of this stuff they're talking about won't even come into effect until years later. So how's it going to help anybody right now? It's not.
No, it's not. And I've watched. I did my research too, but I just wanted your opinion. I don't think it's right. There's people we do need the stimulus, but who's going to pay for it? That's the thing I keep telling my family and my friends is it ain't free.
Right, exactly.
You got a money tree in your backyard, ABL?
I do not. I do not, man.
I don't either.
Thank you for your call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yep. Have a good night and keep preaching the truth.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no money tree over here. I mean, it'd be great to have one, but I don't have it, and it's just gonna keep putting a gun in my face and taking my money through taxes. I'm not a big fan of that. Okay. All right, caller, you on the line. I'm speaking to 347.
Hey, ABL, what's going on? It's Josh from New York.
All righty.
First time I'm getting through. This is a little crazy, but I'm a cop here in New York, and I'm seeing all the madness that's been going on top of all this stuff, and now they want to focus on Cuomo and his allegations and whatnot. To me, it's just a whole waste of time. Like they got to get rid of him already, and move to somebody who's gonna actually do something about the crime that's been going on. Like most of the stuff that's been going on is because of his executive orders, just letting criminals run amok. On top of that, the people who are being hurt the most are the people who ain't working.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. It's just I'm seeing way too much of it.
So are you in the city?
Yeah, I'm in the city.
So how are things there? Like how have things changed since the virus hit, and then how have things changed as far as what De Blasio and Cuomo have been doing as far as their orders and their rules, regulations?
I'm deep in the city, so it's just like a lot of the regular people. You see some people with masks, but you see a majority of them no masks. At first, I remember if you saw last summer, they wanted us to enforce some stuff with the masks. One guy took one guy down and they said, all right, no more enforcing masks.
Okay.
So
there's no mask enforcement up there?
No. It's not going to be from the NYPD, tell you that.
Right.
I mean, I'm not representing them. I'm just, I'm way off duty. I'm just saying, but all this stuff is going on. Like the mask stuff is so crazy here. They had our bosses checking up on us in the precincts through cameras to give us hits for not wearing a mask.
Wow. So you guys getting spied on. You can't even have private moments. It's like, okay, you just chilling, looking in the camera. Oh, you don't have a mask on. That's a fine.
That's exactly what's happening. We walk in, we forget, you got to talk sometimes, wearing the thing 8 hours, things gets wet. And that's how bad they're getting.
Wow, that's crazy.
And I'm glad Texas has gone the way they did. More states need to follow that. Right now, I think New York needs a little bit of that, but the fear machine is just way too strong.
Now, are people leaving New York? Because I'm hearing a lot, people going to Florida, they going to Carolina, they're just escaping. Are you seeing that happen?
A lot of my friends already left. And
so where are they going when they leave?
A lot of them moving to Florida. A lot of them have moved to Florida. Maybe one of them I know has moved to Texas, but everybody's going down to Tampa. They were going down to Fort Lauderdale. All these different places down there.
Wow. Now
it's the right move.
Now, are you going to stay up there? Are you going to leave? Like, what's your course of action? Like, you going to just tough it out? What you going to do?
Right now, I'm actually looking at Tampa. They're actually offering very nice packages to move down there.
You said what now?
So they're offering nice packages to move down there.
Packages, like as far as being able to transfer, like be an officer down there.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, but that's it's a little sad. I love this city, man. I grew up here. I grew up in Harlem, and to see the city go the way it is, because the number one thing that really brought the city down is Cuomo's orders. like right before the coronavirus hit, the crime just started to spike. You're seeing everybody right now. It's not even safe to take a train. I can't even go outside to the bodega at night without, carrying my gun. I'm myself, I'm afraid.
Wow. Yeah, I've been hearing about that, like the subway attacks. Like I heard about the subway slasher, and one guy was killing homeless people.
Yeah. And they didn't talk too much about it because, it was a Hispanic dude. He had a couple mental issues, and the family was even shocked that he was out there. And even today, there was 2 UPS workers slashed on a train.
Wow. Now, were they working, or they were just happened to be employed by UPS and it's on the train, or were they in the middle of working?
Yeah.
Okay.
They happen to be employed.
Okay.
That's what I learned in the news, but it's just sad, man. And like I said, all this comes from Cuomo and de Blasio.
Yeah.
It's just a little sad.
Yeah.
But I don't want to take too much more of your time. I appreciate getting on with you.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, man. Take care.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. New York, I've been hearing a lot about New York. It's just, it ain't, ain't the same. Somebody says no police presence in New York City. People just leaving. People moving to Nevada. Yeah, I'm hearing about that. Vegas is nice. It's hot as, whatever. Yeah, subway slasher. There was a guy that got cut from ear to ear almost across his face, like this way, like across his nose, almost from ear to ear. He didn't die, thank God. But yeah, Asian dude got cut. $150, $200, yeah. And there was another person that was killing homeless people. I think he killed like 4 people in 24 hours or something like that. I don't want to get the numbers wrong. Hold on. Homeless killer, New York. So, okay. He was stabbing people. So he stabbed 4 people. 2 of them died and 2 of them just got hurt. Yeah, that was within like a 24 to 48 hour period on the subway. It's crazy, dangerous. It's dangerous. Like, I don't like stuff like that. I'm good. Where I live at, my little safe town is beautiful. Coming from Virginia was getting off the chain like that too. Not quite like New York City. People weren't just getting stabbed in the street, but it was getting dangerous. Shootings every night. In my neighborhood where I was living at, people were shooting every day. I was like, you know what? Okay, let's go ahead and bounce. Either I'm gonna go way out, way far away in the area, or to a different state, and I'm out here. And it's great. It's wonderful. Couldn't ask for a better situation. All right. Let's get to the next one. 601, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Justice.
All right, man. What's going on?
I'm good. Hold on. Let me park real quick. Let me park. I'm at work. I know you got a lot of work. Just calling me at work. I'm at work too. Yeah. All right. All right. So how you been?
Everything's all right, man. Can't complain. You good over there?
Yeah, I'm good. I was going to tell you. I know I called earlier last week. I tried to call you Sunday, or no, what's today? Wednesday. So I tried to call you Saturday, but I guess you ran away. I told you about debating. You didn't pick up. It's okay though. But yeah, I told you, Reeves. I guess he changed his mind about letting people wear masks. People that don't have to wear masks if they get the vaccine. But now it's just 100% over here now. But our mayor, Toby Barker, he still requires us to wear masks because we're like the third biggest city, and he just wants the numbers keep going down a little bit. So we still have to wear masks if you're in the city limits or anywhere in Hattiesburg in general. I mean, I'm okay with that. I understand what he's doing. But I feel like that's good though. I mean, we weren't really enforced anyway. We weren't enforced anyway, but I feel like that's good news.
Are they enforcing it now? Well, I mean, it's not anymore, but so they weren't enforcing it?
No, we were never enforcing it. Like, people were always in Walmart. Like I said before, people were always in Walmart, Target, Corner Market, Kroger, in the mall. They were always Lowe's, not wearing masks. You have some places in the mall, like Hot Topics, like your strict Gen Z, little stores, like you wear a mask in there, they won't let you in. They'll beat you up if you don't wear a mask. But 95% of the other places here in Mississippi, they weren't really enforcing masks anyway. But now that it's gone, now you're going to see all people not wear masks. I just hope the numbers don't spike up. That's my only concern.
Right. Yeah.
So I got a question. I got a question for you.
All right.
So you don't what's the word I want to use? So you don't care really too much about ethnic cleansing or gentrification or anything like that?
Well, that's two different things, ain't it? Ethnic cleansing. You talking about people getting killed versus gentrification. That's a different thing. So I mean, let's talk about, huh?
You sure?
Yeah, ethnic cleansing. People get killed. Like that's like you kill people. That's like the Holocaust. That's ethnic cleansing. That's not the same thing as gentrification. Huh?
Isn't that what gentrification is? Isn't that also colonism? The white people are moving in black areas and pushing them out of their own land.
Well, nah, it's not even like that. Okay, if you kill somebody, look, wait a minute. If you kill somebody, they're dead. It's ethnic cleansing. It's like you're targeting people to be killed. All right, and then gentrification, it's really a good thing because people in the community, what did they ask for? If you live in the poor area, what do they want? That's a question for you.
What they want? Oh, you're asking me that. They want to be in a nice neighborhood.
Right. And what else? They want jobs and they want a better place to live and they want their environment to improve, right?
Yes, among their people.
So when jobs are brought in, businesses are brought in, opportunity is brought in to where you live, isn't that what they want?
Yes.
So what's the problem? I don't get it.
So why is it that, I guess the root problem is, why is it that why can't black people do that? You know, like, why is it when white people come in that happens, but when black people stay in a neighborhood, it doesn't happen? I think that's the deeper question that should be asked.
Well, it's not even, okay, first of all, it's not just a black-white thing because you can have, you know, the Indians come in, other whites or Nigerian, like foreign blacks, they come in. Here's what happens. You have an area of the city that's kind of depressed, and a lot of times this is a black area. Sometimes you camp with a white area too. I've seen white areas of the city. Matter of fact, where I was living in Virginia, in Chesapeake, Virginia, the white area was the poorest area in the city. But I'll talk about that at a different time. So what happens is the area gets built up. They build in new stuff, and they're flipping houses and all that kind of stuff. Now, anybody can do that. It's not a white-only thing. You can have some black folks with money, like, prime example, Atlanta. I know black guys in Atlanta right now that flip houses, right? So you can have black guys in Atlanta build up houses, build a business, and build a community back up from the ashes. But we don't want to do that. We want to live in the outside area, not in the community, not building that up. And what usually happens is it's the white gay couples that come in and they live in the ghetto and they build a house up that's kind of a bando and they make it beautiful. Then their friends come in. Now they start to bring in a Starbucks, is kind of convenient right there on the corner. And then they bring in a school for their kids if they got kids. If they got people that are not gay and they got kids. And then the property value goes up in the area, taxes go up, and the people that have been living there, who've just been watching all this stuff happen, have not been prepared to take advantage of the opportunity that's come their way. They're not prepared to work. They're not prepared to go out there and get more money. So what they wanted as far as the increased opportunity, better property value, they're not ready for it because you got to work for it and you got to pay for it. So it's not the white man's fault or anyone else's fault. People that are there are just not prepared for that. So what they're asking for, they truly don't want.
Okay. Well, I think you forgot one part, though.
What's that?
Where do they... Okay, so you kind of hit it on the head, the noggin. So you said the value goes up, correct?
Yes.
Now, the problem is the gentrification. When I talk to these people on YouTube and stuff, the problem is the people that originally lived there can't afford to live there anymore because you now have these new people coming in. So what that means for them is that they're forced, they can get a job, but the majority of them are forced to move out and living in worse areas than they were already in. They now can't afford the house that they've been in for 10 years. So now they got to move somewhere else because they just can't afford to stay there anymore. And that's the real problem. Like, that's why a lot of people call it gentrification or colonization, because you're coming in and you're moving everybody out with nowhere else to go or less valuable places to go. And that's the only problem that I have with that. So what would you say about that?
Well, maybe they don't want what they're asking for. If they want more opportunities, more education, a better neighborhood, and they get it, well, like I said, you got to work for it. It's not going to be free. So maybe they don't want it. So maybe they need to stop asking for a better community and more resources and things of that nature if they don't want to work for it and pay for it. Simple.
Okay, well, but here's another question. Where are those jobs coming from? Like, why is it that those jobs are coming in the area once these new people move in, but they weren't there when the original people were already there? That's kind of fishy.
Because the people the people that come in have money. It's simple. They have money. So they're able to, build up the value, build up the tax revenue of a place. Because one thing, like, let's say you're living in an area that's dominated by housing projects. It's a zero tax base because they don't pay any kind of taxes on that. That's government run. There's no tax base in the property itself. It's all government. So when the people that have money come in and they build it up, the value goes up, the taxes go up, all of that goes up, the income people goes up. So they're going to have more money to be able to support these businesses. Like if you have a neighborhood that has no grocery store, the reason for that usually is because the neighborhood cannot support it. Where I live at, they closed the neighborhood Walmart because the neighborhood can't support it. But it's not the fault of the Walmart. It's the fault of the people that live there for not being able to afford it. So what happens is when you build the neighborhood up, now the store can stay there because there's enough people that have money to be able to patronize it. Simple.
Okay. Is that even a true thing? A food desert? Like, is that even a true thing?
I mean, it happens, but the thing is, it's not necessarily that bad because you can get on the bus, but it is a thing because if people don't have money in a particular neighborhood, how was like a poor, impoverished area going to support a grocery store? They don't have the money to be able to support it. The food stamps and whatnot can only go so far. You got to be able to support that store. Okay, that's just really what it is. And what they end up doing is going to gas stations and eating food from there. That's not really healthy or good at all. Yeah, but the thing is, you got to be able to have some kind of money. You can't just wallow in poverty. You can't just be this permanent underclass of people and expect to have things that people that don't live in the underclass have. You got to build yourself up. And if you are not prepared for things to be built up, then don't ask for it. Just stay in the poverty. Either stay in poverty or leave. That's really your options. And if poverty is eliminated around you and things become more expensive, then that's what you ask for. If you wanted that poverty to go away.
Yeah. Probably need to get out of the South, man. I don't ever see like none of these, that's not really a thing down here, like gentrification and food deserts and stuff like that. So, like, we're kind of going off of the horse's mouth here. But like, just from blind point of view, like when you see stuff like that, you're like, man, they're moving the original people out. Like that ain't, that's the first thing that comes to my head. Like that ain't cool, Like, yeah, you make the neighborhood and stuff look better, but where are those people living at now? Like, like Demetrius and Sade ain't living there no more. Like, where are they at now?
I mean, if they're not, it's not really. They got to find somewhere to live. But the bigger issue here is that Demetrius and Sade been living in poverty forever, and they've not stepped their game up. You can get out of the poverty. This is America. This ain't like third world country where you're just going to be stuck in poverty forever. You can get out of it, but people got to choose to do that. Make better life choices and choose to do it. And a lot of times, you're not always going to be stuck right there in poverty. You're not going to live in poverty forever. I grew up in a really super poor situation. My parents did. My parents, my mother grew up so poor. You're talking about dirt roads, barefoot, no shoes. But obviously, you don't live that way no more. You got to just work yourself up, build up. You can't just say, I'm in a poor situation, therefore give me this, give me that. When you're not ready for it, build yourself up. You'll be able to get what you want. That's the way it's supposed to go.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like I didn't grow up in poverty. I grew up middle class, but we all got our college degrees, got our jobs, got our own little place. We're doing pretty good. But I have had some friends that still, went to college. They still working at, like Jimmy Jazz or, like Walmart, Target. They got a degree. I understand it was like the job demand just isn't, there's not enough jobs, at the end of the day for every single American.
I mean,
so,
make a way for yourself. Figure it out. People that live in these small towns, you know what I'm saying? Go to the military, go to do something, become merchant seaman, get your trade somewhere, figure out a way to make yourself somebody. If you're just going to be content living in a poor situation, a small town, and that's fine if you want to live that. I'm not judging nobody for doing that, but if that's where you feel you're content, that's your comfort zone, and you want to stay there, that's your prerogative. But nobody else can be blamed for that. And if you're not aware of what's happening around you, if your neighborhood is changing, then that's on you as well. That's just life, man. But thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, man. You have a nice one. I'll call you back Wednesday, Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday. All right.
Saturday. I'll call you Saturday. All right.
All right. Well, that'd be a wrap for the calls. It's 11 o'clock already. The time just flew by. I let that one go a little bit because I was at the end of the show anyway, so it was like, I'm not going to take another caller, so it just kind of made sense. But yeah, exactly, Drix60. When opportunity knocks, answer it. So gentrification, if you guys were kind of lost, gentrification, that's like a complaint in the black community. And, you have an area, like let's say it's Atlanta, right? And it's a part of the city that's been poor for a long time. A lot of black folks live out there. They may own their houses and they are there living in poverty, but they're straight for the most part. They're content with that. Maybe they are, maybe they're not, but it's irrelevant. What happens is people coming from the community, from the outside, building the community up. Here's a bando or an abandoned house right here in the corner. Okay, here come Tim and Bob, a gay white couple from California. They coming in, fixing that little bando up, living right there in the gutter with the black folks. And, they don't really come outside. They pretty much say to themselves, they're chilling, right? They got a little dog. So they built their area up. From a bando to a beautiful home. And then they get some friends that come from Austin, and they come across the street and put another one up. And then another one, and another one, and another one. These are abandoned homes, nobody in them. Then all of a sudden, your neighborhood starts to change. You start to see more dogs walk in, and, less, more police presence, because now people are starting to vote and they're being more active in civic stuff, and they say, hey, we got a problem over here with the violence, bring more police. Now you got more police presence. Then the neighborhood changes, the property value goes up. People that have been living in these areas for a long time may not be able to afford the taxes on their home. You can't just live in poverty forever. At a certain point, especially when you start to see things change, it's time to think about, all right, what am I going to do next? Am I going to move? Am I going to try to fix my house up? Am I going to sell my house? What am I going to do next? That's just what it is. And people say a lot of times in these areas, because I've been in these areas, living in the areas, we need more opportunity, we need more jobs, we need a grocery store. All right, well, you can get these things, but it's going to cost. It's not going to be free. And if you're not ready to get things that cost money, that require more time and energy, then whose fault is that? Maybe you're not really ready for it like you say you are. All right. But yeah, I'm not being homophobic, obviously, but I'm being serious. Like, that's usually what it is. If you're ever living in these areas, it'd be a gay white couple, they come in there and fix a bando from the ground. I'm talking about, it can be about to fall down. It could be a roach motel. It becomes a beautiful Victorian mansion overnight. Boom. And so on and so on. That's gentrification, but really it's a good thing, or at least it should be. The problem is that people that live there aren't ready for it. All right, but thank you for being here. Definitely appreciate you guys. If you like what you heard in the show, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. This show will be available as audio only on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether it be Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, etc. A link for that will be in the description box below. If you're over there right now, please give me a 5-star rating. Give me a review. Do whatever you can. That most certainly appreciate you. And let's go ahead and get to the super chats. And then I wrap it on up, put the bow on the top. Exactly, Zedus King Sword. White folks have been gentrified. Black folks, it doesn't really matter. Hispanics, obviously, everybody. But that's just how it is. Neighborhoods change. You can have a nice neighborhood where it's all peaches, sunshines, and rainbows. Then it becomes a shooting gallery. Lenox Mall, Atlanta. Used to go over there for your Gucci, Louis, Prada. But now you got to get your Call of Duty gear. You got to get your Syntex helmet, your Kevlar vest. You got to get 2 pistols on each side, a rifle, a shotgun, a rocket launcher, all that to go shop and get your stuff at Lenox Mall. 8 shootings in 1 year at Lenox Mall in Atlanta. Things change. But I digress. All right. So let's get to the next one. Okay. Where am I at? Okay. Furniture Xbox says BLM trained Marxists by Confucius centers and college and universities at the CCP embassy Trump shut down. Okay. Think it's a mandatory carrier who says, just hashtag keep fighting no matter what. Thank you. Wolfgang Diode says, masks working. What do you mean? Define it, Ivan. There is some effectiveness, perhaps. However, what is working, Jack? And figure your brain out. Shout out to Amy V, who says, YouTube, the purpose of the N95 mask and what a fit test is. If you have any doubts about your cloth paper working, airborne diseases require N95. There you go. Think it's Wolfgang, who says, first outbreak was in San Fran, New York second. I don't know about that one. I have to look into it. But New York is where it was really like an epidemic for real, a serious problem. That's where the big block of it was. But maybe I'm just wrong. Thank you to Annie Gone Hart, who says, hi, ABL. I am shopping in Walmart right now, and it's very hard to keep a straight face. Too funny. Yes, Cuomo forged the cancel sword. He will be deeply impaled by the left eventually. That's right. John Rice says, one fish, two fish, red fish, cancel fish. Amy says, just particle size equals 0.01 to 0.1. During fires, CDC said surgical masks will not help. Virus particles, okay, dust particle size is 0.01 to 0.1. During fires, as far as dust particles, CDC said surgical masks will not help. Virus particle size equals 0.005 to 0.3. What? Tell me how cotton works too. Exactly. Thank you. Masks don't work. The ones that everybody's wearing don't work. Unless you got a hazmat suit or something like that, you're not protecting yourself or anybody else. It is what it is. Thank you to TM Sean, who says, what's your thoughts on Young Pharaoh as a person and about the CPAC panel? I don't know Young Pharaoh. He has his own lane. That's not really my area. He's into that like Egyptology, woke, blackity black stuff. That's not really my lane. From what I see, he's just pretty cool. From what he does, I don't see him as like a person that tries to attack people, but I don't know him. And as far as the CPAC panel, that was a mistake to even book him, because all you got to do is go on YouTube and look at him and see what he's about. This whole anti-Semitism or whatever they said, I mean, that's right there on YouTube. He's not trying to hide himself. So whoever tried to book him for CPAC was just not really using their brain too tough. You know, they don't really know a lot about people. Like, CPAC is a DC establishment thing. People that are there generally are establishment, regardless of who you see. They can be black, white, Puerto Rican, candy stripe. They were selected by the establishment, and a lot of times they're out of touch with what's happening on the internet or in Main Street America. That's just what it is. Shout out to Wolfgang, who says, reverse racism is just racism. Jedi says, Norway biggest study done regarding masks, and they are shown to have little effectiveness. That guy's only looking at studies that meet a certain narrative, political science. People I know always wear masks, yet still get it. Exactly. Jedi also says Denmark. Okay, it was Denmark rather than Norway. Leo says, if we're going to cancel everyone now with Greece, can we cancel the VP due to her family ancestors owning slaves? Plus, will she pay for reparations? Great question. If your family owns slaves in Jamaica, are you going to pay for reparations as well? Good question. Wolfgang says white people are not racially aware. However, we are nationally aware, and we will make fun of ourselves for German, French, English, Russian heritage. Jedi says, he said, do you think you know better than the experts, aka public health experts? And also, dangerous lack of thinking. Many individual health officials have many opinions about masks. Exactly. Citizen Shane says, California, perfect example of how voting will not fix it. I'm going to read some of this because this ain't really probably what I want to read. It doesn't matter. Corporations. All right. He says basically all demographics. I'm not going to read all that, though. Shout out to JVS H-Town, who says, Biden on Wednesday back to plan that will reduce income levels for the $1,400 checks. He proposed to a level lower than that used by the Trump administration and its relief checks just now. So yeah, basically, Trump lowered he actually raised the bar to entry by lowering the income level upon which you'd be eligible to get the virus check. So I'm not really sure what it's going to be, but it's lower than what Trump. So let's just say, for example, Trump said, okay, if you make $100,000 or less 2019 tax returns, you'd be able to get a check in 2020 or 2021. Biden might say, rather than $100,000 being the threshold, how about $40,000? So basically, he's giving a check to less people. Funny how that works. Now all of a sudden you're a fiscal conservative. Interesting. Jedi says, if the mask so effective, why put 2 and 3 on? Political symbiology keep us in the stage. Capitalize on fear. Experts equals human, not gods. They constantly flip-flop. Farringer says, tell him move back to California. Terry says, check out Cadbury commercial. I couldn't want my grandchild asking me question after this. Okay, I'm going to check that out. Miss Girl POV says, thank you for taking my call and for the shout out from my channel. Blessings to you and your lovely wife. Thank you. I appreciate you. Shout out to Laura Reeves, who says, character, not circumstances, make the man. Booker T. Washington. Exactly. Wolfgang says, yeah, San Fran was important but quiet. Seattle, Washington, too. Okay. Shout out to Matthew, who says, to recap a gentrification point, it's a good thing that people are willing to accept new jobs, newer housing, and accept personal responsibility. Yes, absolutely. Okay, if people are asking for a better community, better housing, more jobs, more opportunity, and then all those things they want get put into their lap, they can't say, oh, no, we don't want it now. No, you asked for it. They don't want it and say gentrification because they got to work for it and they got to pay for it. They don't want to do that part. They still want to live in poverty, but live high on the hog in poverty. Those two things can't be, in the same place at the same time. Either you're going to get out of poverty and have a better life, or stay in poverty and have a worse life. Choice is yours. Whatever you want to do, that's your business. But I digress. Thank y'all for being here. Yet again, you guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. So I'll be back live again Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this show will be available on Friday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time on your favorite audio streaming platform. Shout out to all the mods for doing a great job. Bill from the Hills, Upper 10,000, Killer Sushi, all you guys. Zedotis Kingsword, thank you all. Charles Hunter Jr., appreciate y'all for being here. But until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.